cheers to episode 192. Beat the Colts. We are the Lions. We bleed blue.
We bleed blue.
What was the final? Was it final 24-6?
Yep.
I'm drinking
snooze fest on Sunday afternoon.
Worst professional sports league that exists.
Some are saying.
What?
Evan would rather watch WNBA on a Sunday.
I can honestly say I've watched 0 seconds of WNBA over the last 4 years.
You missed a good witching hour, Evan, if you didn't see it.
Oh, I was all over it. I quad boxed that bad boy up. I had every game.
I just watched Red Zone.
I don't have Red Zone, but I have Sunday Ticket. Shout out Ben. So I quad boxed all the important games.
The Lions game was boring, so I turned it off with 5 minutes left in the game.
I got red Gatorade mixed with a little bit of water.
I have a Cinnamon Toast Crunch protein shake.
Can I see that, Alex?
I don't have the protein in front of me. I just have it in a bottle.
How many grams of
you got the powder?
Sugar?
Yeah, it's a powder mixed with water.
So you have like the gallon powder jug?
Yes.
Wow. It's impressive.
What do you mean?
What do you have?
Impressive to have protein powder?
What brand is Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Like, what's the
Who makes
company?
It?
Yeah.
I think it's called Bum. Raw?
Bum?
Bum or Raw?
Bummy Raw? There it is. No free sponsors. No free ads. What is it?
Raw Bum Collab.
A raw bum.
See? Bum. And then Bum Raw.
How good is it? Is it really good?
Does it have like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch logo on it, or is it just cinnamon?
No. It's called Cinnamon Crunch Cereal.
Oh, that's gotta be a
and on it says, "Don't be a bum. Train hard, sleep harder. Add another plate and love your mom." So, anyways, no, it's fine. I don't feel like any protein's that great. So
agreed.
I enjoy the muscle milk chocolate powder.
Never had a muscle milk before.
What's a protein powder? Muscle milk makes its protein powder and the chocolate flavor. Pretty good.
I just like chocolate milk.
You have to mix it with milk, though. If you try to do protein with water, it's disgusting.
I do my protein powder with coffee.
Oh.
Shout out
right.
Cody.
That's right.
For recommending that. And I was always scared to do it. And then as soon as he said that, I do it just about almost every morning.
It's really heavy with milk. You know?
Yeah,
it is. Coffee. Coffee is water. It's just
like protein already gives you the shits.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you just drink a big 12-ounce glass of milk with it, you know?
Not me.
Or blockage.
What do you mean, Evan? You don't get affected by that?
Protein doesn't give you you don't get protein farts.
No.
You don't
what?
Evan, your farts smell terrible most of the time.
What?
Whoa,
everyone
one of the bus.
Name's one person that has a good smelling fart.
Okay, no one, but
there's a sign at the gym I go to that's and the bathroom stalls that says high protein diets equal please give a courtesy flush. And it has like a PU face.
See? It's a normal thing, Evan.
I gave myself a courtesy flush 20 minutes ago.
Oh.
All right, I guess we should get back on track. So it's episode 192, Sunday, November 24th. Let Evan be the first to wish you happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Nah, maybe not the best holiday.
Happy Black
Not
Wednesday.
Even close to the best. It's
Close.
not even up there in the top 3.
Okay, give me your top 3 holidays, Alex.
All right, it's probably top 3 because there's never many good holidays. Christmas, number 1.
Mm.
St. Patrick's Day, 2. What? It's a holiday.
It used to be cool in like college. There's no way it's still cool now or as cool.
Valentine's Day, 3rd.
Loser.
Fine, it's top 3.
July 4th.
4th of July. Memorial Day.
Labor
Columbus
Day.
Day. Labor
Football.
Day. Last day of summer, though. That sucks.
My birthday. Election Day.
The day before my birthday. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone. It's 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:08 p.m. Central Time, Sunday, like we said. Oh, I'm lagging. Can you guys hear me still?
You sure are.
Yes. I can hear you.
I'm back to normal.
Yes.
I'm debating I know. I'm debating if I should leave and come back.
Perfectly clear, perfectly good. Everything is great.
So for tonight's show, football season's it's not almost over, but we're getting definitely down to the nitty gritty here of the last few weeks, which is kind of sad. Unless for Evan,
went pretty fast.
He's probably happy that the NFL is almost over.
NFL is not really almost over.
No, there's a lot of ball left to be played. College football is getting close to over.
It's almost over. Thank God.
Last regular season week this week.
Yeah, that snuck up on me.
We have Pookies and Dookies as always, and a couple college football playoff thoughts since there was a lot of chaos that happened this week in the sport. We won't do actual rankings, but we can discuss some of the takeaways from the weekend and what it means for the committee, which has a tough job, I would say. Then we have Lions as always, another win for them. Beat the Colts. Michigan State, some Michigan talk, some Bryce Underwood chalk for Michigan more so than the Northwestern game. And then NFL power rankings. Good reminder by Evan that we need to do those in the Pookies and Dookies segment right after that. So I would say a very loaded show. No basketball, no Pistons. Yeah, they also lost, I think, twice this week. So they didn't make the cut yet. And the Red Wings, I think, are still below 500 too. So they're not really making the cut yet. But before all that, as always, Alex, what did you do this week?
Nothing.
Golf on Tuesday.
Yeah, just the normal stuff. So nothing exciting.
Nothing? Not even over the weekend?
I was supposed to do something yesterday, but got a cough. Didn't want to get anyone sick before the holidays. Plus, I got to get on a plane in 2 days. So
you're always sick.
Yeah, I think I'm dying just like you.
I'm healthy now. I'm good. I'm back. Oh.
I did that on purpose, Grant.
Do you guys know anyone that does that all the time when they answer a phone? Like the person that answers the phone through their throat.
Hello?
Yeah. My dad does that.
Hey, Grant.
Hello.
So yeah, it is. I didn't do anything. I don't think that I can remember.
Evan?
I like Alex. I didn't do much. Basketball, first game's on Tuesday. I would say my highlight would probably be went and cheered on the high school volleyball team as they played in the States.
Shout out them. I watched
Congratulations.
2 of the games. Yeah,
great team.
The semis and the final.
Finals didn't go their way, but the semifinals was probably one of the best high school sporting events I ever witnessed in person.
Volleyball is a very exciting sport to watch live in person.
It was intense.
It's very chaotic. It soothes like the basketball like ADD side of your brain where it's like nonstop action. It's fast.
So that was in Battle Creek, Kellogg Arena, Friday and Saturday evening. Other than that, Hoopsters started today. Ref that.
Hoopsters.
I did a little bit in the morning, 6 or 7 games. Called it a day. That's about it.
Do you guys think I should, this is a conversation that came up between Marissa and I. We were driving to friends gathering last night. We were watching the volleyball game on the way there, and they kept advertising, as they do on those broadcasts, like we have a ref shortage. We need refs. And she's like, you ever think like...
Do we think you should ref?
The conversation was talked about, and I was like, it's actually not... I don't know what sport I would want to do, but I considered it in that moment. I was like, what if I just signed up, did whatever classes you have to do, and got in there? Because I feel like... I don't know how I would do, honestly. I mean,
ask Evan. He's a ref.
Is it worth it, Evan?
Yeah. The hardest part is just...
Not a hard sell.
The hardest part is just joining in like a league and then getting to a signer and then getting assigned games. That's the hardest part. But like the tests and everything, that part, piece of cake.
Getting yelled at?
You get paid pretty good. It's just hopefully you don't have to travel. I think for you it'd be a lot easier Because if you did games around you, you have more high school or middle school, whatever you want to do. So I think the distance you would have to travel would be less. They get paid pretty good per game basis.
What kind of pay are we talking?
Well, depends. I don't know about. I think it's around $100-$150 per game.
Not bad.
I'm intrigued. What sport do you think is the easiest?
You should do hoops. Stay in shape. Get to run around.
Football seems the hardest.
Football's too much. No.
Baseball's the longest because you never know what quality opponents you would get. I would say probably the easiest would be middle school boys basketball. Would have to be the easiest.
That's got to be very easy.
Well, I also 7th and 8th grade girls, 7th or 8th grade girls would also, I think, be easy. Because, I do that right now. I do every age group for basketball. Because at that age, you have like a handful of them that actually know how to play basketball. So, like, the second half is like competitive.
I think
do high school basketball.
You have to get training. But granted, if you try to do that, you have to get training underneath a veteran. They have to put you underneath their wing. And then I think you have to do an X amount of games before you get called up to the big leagues.
But
it doesn't take that many games because for Tecumseh, there's been a handful of teams that would, or guys that you would see like do JV games, and then the following year they're doing primetime Friday night SEC basketball games. It's like you were just doing freshman and JV games last year, buddy.
I'd be a little scared to mess up because I would feel bad if I blew a call.
Who cares? Part of the game.
I feel like watching the volleyball ones, I was like, I'm not trying to minimize the flag people that call in or out, but I feel like that's not that hard of a job to do.
Oh, flag would be easy.
Yeah.
You gotta call tip or you gotta say it's in.
JV games. The varsity girls do the JV girls games. I remember.
Or the head person in the stand's not that hard. You just watch for when people run into the net or double hit.
People on the back line. It just
there was a lot of rules that I learned over this weekend, though.
Me too. I was like, oh, I didn't know you couldn't do that.
I didn't know there was a 5-second call on your serve as soon as they blow the whistle.
Yeah, got a free
5
point.
seconds to serve that.
All right, Alex. For the rest of the show, can you go a little bit closer to your mic? I feel like you got a little quiet at points there.
No.
Perfect. For me, during the week, there wasn't much of anything that big. Friday, went to a new restaurant in Rochester we haven't been to before, downtown.
Called?
O'Connor's Public House. It's a Irish style bar. We were looking at it online because I was the one that said we should go there because we were picking through some of the ones that we hadn't gone to yet, and they don't do themselves favors with their online menu. Since it's an Irish bar, like you go on their website and the first thing under their appetizers is like bangers and mash, and it's like a gross
cabbage.
Yeah, and it's like like a deviled egg Havarti or something, and there's like a deviled egg there. Like it's just kind of gross. So Marissa was really down on it, but all the reviews online said
best burger I've ever had in my life.
Google review actually says that, yeah. Like one of the top 2 ones says this is the best burger I've ever had in my life, called the Brawler Burger. So
and you wrote it.
I didn't write it. But I did
write a second one that's going to say the same exact thing.
Confirmed it is. No, it's not the best burger ever, but it was very good. It was like a Wagyu beef is what they used for the patty, and they topped it with it was $18.99
with fries, or fries separate.
Yeah, fries with it.
Okay.
Wagyu beef with prime rib slices on top of it, smothered in like their house-made barbecue sauce and provolone cheese. It was very good. It was hard to eat though. It was messy. It was a messy burger. Cheese was falling out. Yeah, that's true. Cheese was falling out left and right, out the back of it. Whatever. Had it for leftovers the next day too. It wasn't as good the second time. So that was good. And then
something else happened Saturday too.
That was Friday.
Oh, yeah. Well, something happened Saturday morning. Yeah. Morning, afternoon.
For me?
Yeah. Man City died and lost 4-0 to Tottenham.
Man City did bottom out. I'll call that rock bottom, losing 4-0.
Shout out Dr. Love.
at home. Yeah, so good for you guys to see that.
Beat you guys again, 2-0 this year.
Yeah, you guys beat us every year, so I don't know why you don't usually beat us at home. That's
no,
true.
we just always beat you.
Not like that though. Not
Who's
like for
better?
nothing. Well, that's not true.
Pep out.
No, Pep's
Just
not
signed
actually.
his contract
Yeah,
extension.
he's back.
Why do people keep saying Pep out?
It's just fun to say whenever you lose a game.
Greatest coach of all time. Let's fire him.
Nobody actually wants him gone.
Sack him.
Sack him.
It shows how important Rodri and Ruben Diaz are. They are the lifeblood of that team.
Rest in peace. They in Saudi?
No, Rodri's out for the year with an ACL, and Diaz is out right now with an injury.
Oh, they're just hurt.
Yeah.
Soft.
No, well, he tore his ACL, so.
Oh, well.
And then Saturday night went to one of Marissa's grad school friends had their, it was kind of like an engagement / housewarming gift or party in Farmington area. So that was fun. This can be on. I went to pee outside since there was only one bathroom, and I stepped in a big pile of their dog's poop, which was not good. Like felt it mush beneath my foot. Lucky I didn't slip backwards. It was just, oh God, I instantly knew that wasn't mud, that was poo. And then
What'd you do with your shoe?
I wiped a lot of it off in the grass and then left my shoes outside, which sucked because everyone was able to wear their shoes inside because it was all wood floors, and I had to go just socks the rest of the night inside.
Okay, that's gross.
And then this morning was a little bit hungover, drank a lot of whiskey at that thing, and then had to scrub the rest of it off my shoes over our balcony with already a queasy stomach. So that was not fun. And today we went to Marissa's cousin's house to watch some NFL football, ate some chili.
I made chili today. I made so much chili.
we did too. We did too.
I had when I make a dinner, I basically eat it for the next week. But it's like I'm feeding a family of 5. I have so much chili.
Like Kevin from The Office with your tub of chili.
Do you go off a recipe, Grant, or do you just wing it?
She uses her dad's as her go-to, so she always follows that.
I was going to text my mom. Didn't. I just straight up 100% just winged it.
Really?
Just threw a bunch of shit in a pot and see if it worked.
How did it turn out?
Not bad. I think my mom's is still 100 times better than what I made.
Not bad means not that good.
I mean, I still enjoyed it.
There's a sneaky ingredient that she always uses in her dad's, which I think is good, is this spicy V8 juice for kind of more the tomato. It's pretty good. It gives it a little kick.
You guys know in Texas they don't put beans in their chili?
Yeah, those people are weird.
That's weird. You need beans.
You need beans.
No beans in Texas chili.
You gotta have the red chili beans.
No beans.
Beans need to be in chili.
I'm a no beans guy.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you would be. You're no onions either. You need onions in the chili too.
Correct. No onions.
Onions, peppers, jalapenos.
See, I put all of that in mine.
Yeah.
And I think my family's traditional no
Ground
peppers.
beef.
No peppers in
celery.
my household.
Did you do celery?
I don't know what my mom technically does, but
We had some
Put
celery
celery
in
in
there.
chili.
It was good. I like the celery.
it's the typical 3 celery, carrots, onions, Alex. Build your base. Gotta get some flavor.
I don't need celery, carrots, and onions ever.
Mirepoix, as they say in France.
I
Mirepoix.
didn't want to butcher it.
Mirepoix.
Mirepoix. Yeah, that was it. So I guess that's the recap. Pookies and Dookies of the week. I did not list out a bunch. It was kind of a busy.
Shocker. You didn't put 50 this time?
I really don't have that many, at least
good.
listed. But I can go look at some of the scores from the weekend and make some up.
No.
Would one of you like to start us, though?
We don't need 6,000.
Pookie of the
We don't.
week. Once again, back-to-back weeks. My guy, PT, Peyton Thorne, ruins
Sure.
Alex's teams.
It's not
Playoff
my
chances.
team. I
Yes,
just
it
Alex's team is out.
Just because I
100%
have friends
Alex's
here
team.
that like A&M, that I just root for them.
Out yet.
Yankees.
They're still alive, as
Still
we will
alive.
discuss.
They win against Texas and they're in the SEC championship game.
They'll
That's
get
right.
shit on by Georgia.
Potentially.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I can co-sign that one because I bet Auburn +2.5. Felt good about it, and Jordan Hare Magic once again. Alex?
I have a half Pookie, half Dookie candidate. Same guy.
Little combo. 3-piece combo.
Kenny Dillingham gets a half Pookie for the win. He gets a half Dookie for his clock mismanagement, and then him throwing a tantrum about it. Pissed me off to know. I had no reason being that upset about it, but I was very mad watching it. Very mad. Because that guy just looks like a loser.
Clock man, I had no idea what they're doing. Who is somebody?
Just score.
Just score.
You're on the 4-yard line and they lost 45 yards.
Or run the ball 4 times. Even if you don't want to score, just run the ball 4 times.
Instead, they just went back 40 yards, then tried to do a throw it up as high as you can and hope it runs out the entire clock. Failed. And then you cry about it. I wanted to punch him in the face.
It was tough.
It pissed me off. It made me very mad.
I thought I was going to pass out.
I had no dog in the fight. And he's been acting like that all year. He's a nut job.
I've never seen anyone try to do that. It's almost something you try to do on like a video game. Like, oh, I'm going to run backwards and like.
He reminds me of Nick Sirianni, college level. Such a loser.
It's a bad comparison.
That is a tough comparison for him.
I think it's
I didn't know exactly. Maybe I need to study this if I want to be a ref one day. That it runs even if it's out of bounds in the air
until it hits
punches someone in the. Yeah, like I didn't know that. What if you just? That's on Sam Levitt for not chucking it even higher. Like if you really wanted to.
The whole thing was stupid. Just run the ball. Just run the ball.
Yeah, because they were up 5, so they would have been up like 13 if they scored.
And then the worst thing about all of that is that when they started doing all their bullshit, the color commentator, I don't know who it was, he was like, so the play-by-play guy was like, this is idiotic, score a touchdown. Like, not the football guy. The play-by-play guy was saying that.
Yeah.
The color guy's like, no, I totally get it. I totally understand, There's just too many risk factors if you go up 13, I could just think of so many scenarios where you could lose the football game.
Like what?
And the play-by-play guy's like, no, just score a touchdown and you'll win the game. And then the whole thing happens and then they rush the field and then there's a second left. Swear to God, the color guy that goes, yeah, that's why I would have scored a touchdown right there. I just was like, are you kidding me? This guy should be fired immediately, and he should go be on ACC Network or the CW for the ACC. He does not deserve to be on ESPN.
I got to go find this 506 Sports, I guess, see who was announcing this game.
It's pissing me off. The guy was an absolute moron.
It was week 13, right? Yep.
Sitting in my living room fuming over a game I don't care about.
Dusty Dorvacek was doing...
That was Dusty.
Redhead Dusty.
Dave Pash and Dusty were on that game. On ESPN.
Dave Pash, he knew what he was talking about. Dusty, moron.
Dave's been around the block a couple of times. He's watched a lot of college football.
Yes, he's a seasoned veteran.
I don't get it, Dave. I think they should have scored. What?
Dude, I credit to the refs for actually doing the right thing and putting a second on because I would not. I would have. I'd be
like, this is too much.
And I would have said, if the person in the replay booth, like wherever the off-site location was saying you guys need to put a second on, I would have said, no, you're not here right now. I'm not putting a second on. Look around at all the people.
In the moment, I thought that it made sense. If I was a ref, I would have been like, all right, let's just go play the other way to the other end zone just to get this last play done. Since they're all in the other end zone, let's go the other way for one play. But I guess you can't do that.
The kid caught it of all the craziness. He catches the football.
The kid, the student that ran out there and then took a video of the BYU kid on the ground and pointing at him, that kid's a twerp and someone should have punched him in the mouth. Kid's a loser. Those kids were losers.
Tough. That was tough. They were already out there, so they were just going to get swamped the second that ball went down. That was awful. Well, it would have been a funny troll is if the refs threw a pass interference flag late after kids rushed the field for the second time and then had to get them all off the field again.
Also, another thing that was, I don't know if I was just in a bad mood at the time or what.
Yeah, you probably were.
The head ref of that game, he looked like as well. He looked like a guy that just loved power. And I was like, come on. He just looked like he pissed me off just looking at him. The whole thing pissed me off. This is why I don't watch whatever stupid conference that is now. Big 12?
Big 12. That's a great conference.
joke.
I'll go one Pookie, one Dookie. Pookie, Florida, with DJ Lagway specifically. They're a different program, different team. They're pretty good when he plays. He had that one clip going around where he was like, guy draped on him, and he still completed it for a first down. That was cool. And then Dookie, I would go with Alabama, was my big Dookie from college football. Just an all-time of this year stinker where they scored. Not just like if they lost to Oklahoma on the road, yeah, you could tell me that happened. But to score 3 points in a college football game in 2024 when you're a top 10 team with one of the more electric quarterbacks in the sport, that is a serious Dookie that they delivered. And I would say, I mean, we will get to it when we talk about the CFP, but if I'm talking about teams that I think should not make the playoff, I would say Ole Miss and Alabama have done enough to probably not make it.
And shout out me, Oklahoma, great football team, said at the beginning of the year. This took them a little while to figure it out. That's the Oklahoma team I picked in the preseason.
Did he Brent Venables hat that he wore during that game?
No.
It just said SEC equipment on it.
What?
Swear to God. It said SEC.
Was that like
underneath it said equipment, had a Jordan logo on it. That was it.
I wonder if that's like a troll or something. That's weird.
Evan, there was a fat Dookie that you probably enjoyed.
What a sentence that is.
Deion Sanders losing?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
You can't. Colorado can't stop the power run games.
More of a Kansas Pookie, though. They might be they're playing the best ball in the Big 12.
3 straight ranked wins, and they're not going to make a bowl game.
That's sad.
Well, they had to play last week.
I have no idea.
I have a Dookie for Evan that he's going to hate. I was a little disappointed in PJ Fleck and the Gophers, the way they kind of...
Picking the field goal at the end of the game?
The field goal was bad. That was bad.
It's like staying down a score from the 8. I know it's from the 8, but like you're Minnesota. Like they already clinched a bowl game, I'm pretty sure. Like what are you playing
They're
for?
6-4.
Yeah. Like why not?
Kansas is a 1.5 point underdog against Baylor, by the way.
Interesting. Yeah, that's coward shit from PJ Fleck. Like no other way to sugarcoat it. And then you get fake punted by James Franklin, one of his risky decisions.
Pookie, James Franklin.
James Franklin.
I won't give up Pookie for that. They should have lost that game. It sucks.
Is that their best win? Is that Penn State's best win at Minnesota?
Minnesota's not bad.
I'm racking my brain of games that Penn State has won. They beat Illinois, which was a ranked win.
They dominated Illinois.
They beat West Virginia.
West Virginia, not good.
Is Illinois or Minnesota better?
Yeah, they beat no one.
But they beat Washington for a whiteout.
They beat a bunch of 5-4 teams.
Correct. And that's why I was hoping they'd lose to maybe slip out of the playoffs.
But they beat every team on their schedule besides Ohio State, Evan.
Besides the one team that matters.
In 12-team era, that doesn't matter,
all right,
I guess.
Fine. Dookie, Indiana, they laid a dud in their prime spot.
Yeah.
We knew that would happen.
It's not so much. No, but they came out and looked the part. When they scored that first touchdown, I was like,
they did look good the first drive. I was like,
they were throwing the ball to Waffle House nonstop.
Always open.
He's always
and then,
open.
I'm not looking forward. The world famous Buckeyes next week.
And anyways, and then Indiana absolutely dookied their pants. So
their special teams is a joke. That you can't. That was.
I think Jim Hill saw Luke's text message saying that he sucks in primetime games, and he took that personally. Because after that, it was like, F it, I'm blitzing.
Engage 8. Yeah. That Cody Simon kid.
I think Ohio State is
caught
lucky.
my eye.
I think Ohio State is lucky, though, that they play Michigan, and Michigan doesn't have any wide receivers, because that number one from Ohio State,
Igbenos transfer.
That guy stinks.
Was getting abused. Now, I don't think he stinks too bad, but
he has the most pass interferences in the country.
Correct.
But he had double digits against Penn State, and he celebrated for like a half hour after he did it.
It's like Kendall Vildor.
Will Howard, my prince, played a great game.
What do we think about his cockiness at the end? What do we think about that? We like that.
I like his moxie.
JJ McCarthy did that. You guys would call him a piece of shit. I mean, let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah, but
JJ McCarthy
Ohio
did
State's
everything.
not our
JJ
biggest
McCarthy never
rival.
had to do it because he just handed the ball off every game.
Okay.
Oh!
Like Will Howard's lighting it up.
Yeah, he is. He's got like just as good stats as Dylan Gabriel.
Hey, he's throwing to NFL first rounders. We're throwing to Cornelius Johnson.
whoa,
No disrespect, Cornelius.
Ronnie Bell the year before. Well, he's in the NFL.
More Roman Wilson than Ronnie Bell.
Colston
But-
Loveland, first round pick.
It certainly was a little bit of caught my eye in terms of Will Howard like shit talking, doing the cigarette.
We should have all
stomp
just
out.
bet our bank account on Ohio State because I know you never know what can happen in these games, as we saw yesterday. And we're talking about how this year is the closest to 2007. But Urban Meyer, I know there's some bias there, but Nick Saban both said the same exact thing on both pregame shows. Indiana, good football team. Ohio State, good football team. But Ohio State just has too much talent.
Well, everybody knew that.
Some people were out there straight up picking Indiana.
I said pregame Ohio State's going to nuke them for one reason: talent.
Cream of the crop always rises to the top.
It was just I bet that in my heart, not my actual mind. But like revisionist history, it was like Indiana looked like they belonged for the first quarter, and then that blunder, once they started blitzing, it was over. But like they had a good sustained drive. They got that fourth down stop with their defensive line is good. That Kamara that Alex said, and CJ West is like a ball
I
player.
think West is just as good.
And
The fact that he came from
Pons is
Kent
a stud.
State and nobody else got him in the Big Ten. He went to Indiana. Now they did say he had academic issues, but still, I can forge some grades for a semester.
Signetti's taking his test for him.
Do we think big picture Indiana next year? So like most of their good players are seniors, transfers from James Madison or elsewhere.
They're going to suck next year.
Do we think that they're going to have some incredible transfer haul again and they're going to be good again? Or is it like, this is it?
This is it.
I think it depends on the QB they get.
Because they don't have a quarterback.
They have that Jackson that played against Washington.
Yeah,
Well, we
he
don't
played
know.
last year.
We don't know who
sucked.
their starter will be next year. It'll probably be
He
through the
didn't suck
portal.
against Washington.
No, last year he started a few games and he got benched. He sucked.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He played against us, Evan. We beat them last year.
I can't tell you because they could just reload like they did
I'm
this
asking,
year.
do you think they'll reload in the portal and be good again?
They will not reload in the portal.
I think so.
No.
I think James Madison will always be their feeder school for the last few years because there's going to be kids from that program that want to go and play for Signetti again because he coached them
that is going to
when they were younger.
That's going to soon run out. Those kids are going to soon run
Yeah,
out.
that can't go on forever. James
I don't
Madison will probably fall off at some point.
James
Maybe.
Madison's-
No, they're
some
always
of this-
good.
Some kids going into James Madison never played for Signetti, so they don't care.
Yeah, once they get to that point. But I think there'll be a couple that can get. I mean, I think there's going to be other teams that like they're going to want to go play for Indiana because of what they did this year.
Not to mention, like, what's their schedule next year?
I thought
It's
they
got to be harder than what it was this
the
year.
Yeah, it
reason-
can't be this easy again.
Yeah, the reason I think this gets forgotten, the reason I was so high on them and people that were
Yeah, you said
talking is because
their
they
schedule
knew the
was bad.
schedule was atrocious from the start of the year. It was a schedule year. They just it
right.
got even worse because Michigan was terrible, Washington was terrible. Like,
Here's
it
their
just became a
schedule.
cupcake.
Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, first three games.
Kennesaw State just got their first FBS win in 5 years.
So 3-0 for the Hoosiers. Illinois at home, Michigan State at home, UCLA at home. This is not in order. It's not in
Correct.
order yet. Wisconsin at home. And then their road games are Iowa, Maryland,
Tough.
Oregon,
Easy.
Penn State,
Tough.
Purdue.
Tough. Easy.
So
So Penn
it's a little
State,
tougher.
Oregon.
Penn State, Oregon, and Iowa on the road as well. Penn State, Oregon,
Look
and
at this.
Iowa on
We're
the road.
talking about IU football now. They're relevant.
Well, I'm just
Nah,
wondering
they're
if
gonna
this was a
suck
flash
next
in the pan and they'll be dead next
Flash
year,
in the
and I
pan,
don't
they're
care.
going to be dead again.
For Michigan State purposes, I hope it was a flash in the pan.
I think they'll all like under Signetti. I think they'll always be a pesky, well-coached team. Like
Dave
they're
Brown
always
type of
going to be what?
Like a Dave Brom or Jeff Brom team. Sorry, Jeff Brom. Like
yeah,
Purdue.
sure. Like they're not going to be Indiana of the past. they're not going to go 10-1 next year.
Be like a
10,
7-5,
11-1.
8-4 team every year.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
I think they'll go bowling more than they don't under Coach Signetti.
Non-conference like that, you're automatically guaranteed 3 wins.
Yeah,
Can't you just win 4 games? Yeah, I win
Western
less than half
Illinois,
your
baby.
games at the end of the year. Well, technically, they should have 4 wins guaranteed because Purdue next year is going to suck just as much as they did this year.
Yeah, they're terrible.
We'll probably play at Indiana on a Friday night next year. I already see it.
You love them Friday
We're
night
playing
games
the
for you
second
guys.
week of the season, Alex.
Right, week 1.
Let's see what other. I guess we can kind of shift a little bit to the playoff talk, and then we can do any NFL stuff after.
Playoffs!
I want to start with this. So I was looking at all the conference tiebreakers, what matters going in this weekend. Why don't you guys? I'll read down my list for you guys, so you have that in mind as we talk about the playoff and who's actually has a chance still.
Clemson does.
So we'll start with the ACC. SMU is already in the title game. They're good. Miami is in if they win. Clemson is in if Miami loses. So
Who do they
simple
play?
as that. Miami plays
at
Syracuse.
Kyle McCord.
Yep. Kyle
Clemson
McCord.
plays who?
Clemson plays South Carolina.
Doesn't matter though. They play South
yeah.
Carolina.
They already wrapped up their ACC conference.
I think South Carolina will win that game, but that's
That'd be a good
besides the
game.
point.
South Carolina's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's a good game. Rivalry
Clemson's
game.
gonna win.
Obviously, it's rivalry week. Big Ten, our conference, Oregon in. Boom. OSU in with the win. Penn State most likely in if OSU loses. That's kind of how it's shaping up.
Really?
I think there would be some tiebreaker with Penn State, Indiana, so they both have one loss and haven't played each other. But I think whatever the calculation is, it's most likely Penn State if they win.
I thought it was Indiana.
CBS article I read said it most likely Penn State.
All right.
Not sure
gonna win.
what else.
So-
What other calculations have to
Who does
happen?
Penn
And
State play
OSU
this
is going to
week?
win. Penn State
Maryland.
plays Maryland.
They're
Thanks,
rivals.
Alex.
Maryland.
God.
Their rival. Big 12. I just wrote chaos. Big 12 is just straight up chaos.
I saw great.
If
There's 8 teams that have a chance to make it still.
So if it's a 4-way tie, because all the teams that have 2 losses don't play each other this week at all. So if it's a 4-way tie, it'll be Arizona State versus Iowa State for the Big 12
No.
title.
Fast.
No.
Yes.
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 If you
Why?
ended
That's
the
why you're
season right
upset.
now, it's Arizona State, Iowa
I want
State.
Colorado to be in it.
No, Colorado blew their chances, Alex.
They'd be
No,
most
how do they
exciting for
get
the
in?
playoff by far.
How do they get in, Grant? Tell me.
You're gonna. I don't know. You're gonna have to do some digging.
Tell me how they get in.
I don't know.
Google
Everyone
it.
needs to lose. They blew it, man. They lost to Jalen Daniels.
No, Kansas is good.
Lost to
That's the shit.
running back. They lost to Neal. He had 203 touchdowns.
Yeah, they did lose to Neal more than anything.
How does
And-
Colorado
and the
make
Chiefs
Big
Stadium.
12 title?
They don't.
SEC. All right, as Alex looks that up. SEC.
SEC.
Georgia's in. Georgia's in.
Georgia
And then the
clinched.
winner of
Wow.
Georgia's clinched for
Yep.
it's the 4th straight time they've been in the title game and 7th out of 8th years, which is nuts for that conference that they're just that dominant. Texas versus A&M. The winner of that game goes to play Georgia. So A&M still in the playoff hunt.
Well, in fairness, Grant, before this year, Georgia was in the East, and Florida and Tennessee
Mississippi
sucked.
State. Mississippi State was in the West. Yeah, good point. That's fair. The American Conference already is Army versus Tulane. That will be your American championship game. And that will matter because the Big 12 is so bad that there's a chance the Big 12 doesn't make the playoff at all, which is kind of nuts to think about in a 12-team version. And then Mountain West. Boise State is
Have
in
the
it.
Big 12.
They might play Colorado State, but basically it's going to be Boise State versus someone else. I don't think it'll be UNLV, though, from what I was reading. But it could be. So that is that's what to watch for in rivalry week when it comes to conference titles, which matter a lot because that gets you the auto bid if you're highly ranked. Yes, Alex?
Colorado can get in 2 ways. First would be 2 of the top teams lose.
Okay.
Easy enough. And they win. They obviously have to win no matter what.
Right.
Or BYU loses to Houston. Texas Tech beats West Virginia. That gets them in.
Add up to those.
Don't know.
BYU
but that gets them
BYU,
in.
I don't think loses to Houston.
Whoa, put some respect on the Cougs.
No. Sorry. No.
They have a big
That would
one
be
this year.
Historic free fall if they lose to Houston on top of the previous 2 games. That's who's still alive in terms of the playoff. I guess, yeah, I mentioned Ole Miss, Alabama. Do you guys both view them as out of the playoff in your mind with the 3 losses they have?
Yes.
I don't see Alabama being out just quite yet because
I think they're
everybody's
going to lose to Auburn.
going to be like, well, Georgia lost to Alabama. Alabama's great win.
They said it like that?
I can just see it happening.
Was that a Ward manual impression? I guess so. The biggest thing that I'm looking at the rankings here on my phone. My question is like, how far do the free falls of who's free falling? It would be. I don't want the AP though. I want the CFP. I don't want. How do I find?
Insert John Mayer.
How can I find the? I don't want the AP poll.
While you find that, I need some water. Can I go get some? Dad?
Sure.
Thank you for the dismissal.
This is good podcasting.
I'll talk to Evan about it.
Yes.
Oh, the AP poll came out, so I guess we could use that as a basis of maybe where. So I was curious, like how far Bama and Ole Miss slide. I think it's the right because they can't fall below South Carolina. I think because they both beat them head to head. So they have Alabama at 13th, and they have Arizona State at 14, and they have Ole Miss at 15, and then you get South Carolina. So I think that's right. I guess the biggest winner of this weekend is the ACC because now they have Miami at 8, SMU at 9, and Clemson at 12. So they have now a chance to get Miami to lose.
That South Carolina win would look great on their resume.
Yeah, if I'm Clemson, honestly, I think I'd be fine with Miami winning, and so I don't have to go play in the ACC title game, and I just beat South Carolina and jump up to like 9, and you're probably safe at that point.
Clemson's in if they win.
They have IU at 10 for the record. The AP put the IU at 10.
They're probably in, I guess.
I see all 4 Big Ten teams being in no matter what.
No, I
don't think Indiana's a guarantee. Then again, who's jumping them?
Oh, well, Boise would jump them if they win their conference title.
Like a 3-loss team's going to jump them? A 2-loss team's going to jump them?
Arizona
Boise
State.
State's auto.
Yeah, but they still count. Right?
Not in the... Well, yeah, there's 5 autos, technically. So you're just looking at 7 spots.
Yeah. The math does confuse me a little bit when it comes to that.
State or Oregon, one of those 2 teams are already in, so there's 6 spots guaranteed. Or 6 spots up for grabs.
No, okay, not that. I mean, there's 5 guaranteed automatic bids, and then there's 7 at large bids.
Correct. And I'm saying there's 6 at large bids because Ohio State or Oregon's
probably
automatically
5.
in.
Because Penn State's in, too.
Notre Dame's in.
And Notre Dame's in, so there's 4 spots.
Notre Dame could lose to USC.
So here's what I would say then. Tennessee is going to be above Indiana no matter what if they keep winning.
Who's Tennessee play last week?
They have to beat
Probably
Vanderbilt.
Kentucky? Oh,
no, they could lose to Vanderbilt.
Diego?
Here's a question. Here's a good hypothetical for Indiana
LSU
as we look at it.
I don't know.
Who?
LSU beat Diego Pavia?
Yes. All right. Question for you guys. Miami is going to play SMU. Let's say that happens at the ACC title game. Okay. Right now they're 8 versus 9 in the AP poll. IU's at 10. Are we going to do the thing where if SMU or Miami loses that game, you're going to punish them for playing that weekend and move them below Indiana? Because I think that would be messed up. So in my world,
if SMU
Indiana
loses, they will take SMU out.
You think so?
Yes.
Well, I
think
that's
losses.
just that's a whole. And you know what? Credit to Evan for getting a step ahead of the whole conference. Like Lane Kiffin came out and said SEC coaches were telling him that they may not even want to play in the SEC title game because it doesn't benefit
really
you.
Said that.
So Evan,
just
credit to you. We were like, Alex and I
you guys called me dumb.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's dumb. I think those coaches are dumb.
But to that point, Alex, the committee needs to be careful because if they show that they're going to move teams down for losing in their conference title game, assuming it's not like a blowout by 50 points, then that's going to be a real discussion. You can't. I don't think you can penalize.
Grant, the committee up all the time with the 4 team. You think they're not going to up with the 12?
I don't think they did that much though. I don't think they messed up that bad ever.
Big Ten Conference champion didn't make it for Penn State, which I'm grateful for. But
I think
TCU got good
TCU
one year.
got bounced when they won the Big 12. Didn't have a Big 12 championship game, but they were undefeated.
But hindsight's 2020. Yeah, sure. Hindsight's 2020 worked out.
You didn't know that Ohio State was going to win it all that year.
Florida State not getting in last year was probably
it was not a mistake. We watched the game. The Rose Bowl was a classic. Florida State would not have done as good as Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
You decided that after the playoff happened, but at that moment, that was probably not a fair decision.
No, I wanted Florida State in last year. I'm like every Michigan fan. I wanted Florida State in last year because I knew they weren't as good as Alabama. And yes, I was like the room in the Michigan that went viral. Like, oh shit, I don't want to play Alabama and Nick Saban in the Rose Bowl.
Yes,
they got the better team.
I agree. The better team made it, but that's my point. It doesn't always go off of record and everything else. Like, someone's going to view SMU when they lose to Miami as not a better team than some 7th SEC team, and they'll be out. That's what will happen.
Yeah. I would say if you're an Indiana fan as well, looking at this, you need Arizona State or Iowa State to like kind of keep losing, because I think a two-loss Big 12 champ is going to jump above into the mix as well. And on top of that, you need Tulane to bow out, because Tulane's lurking at 18 right now in the AP. We'll see what the committee does. But if they win 2 more games, they'll be 11-2 with a win over Army.
But wait, the Big 12's auto anyways, isn't it?
They're not. See, that's the part that's really tricky about this. It's the top 4 ranked conference champions. So if the American is ranked higher,
who's in
there's
that?
A lot of conferences. There's a lot. Every conference in college football. It just matters your ranking.
No, that's not the question. I said who's the highest ranked in the American?
Tulane.
Do you think they could be ahead of the Big 12 champion? Because that's what would have to happen.
Arizona State is ranked 14th, and Iowa State's ranked 17th, and Tulane's ranked 18th. So if those 2 teams slip and they end with, like, let's say one of them loses. Let's say the Big 12 champ ends with 3 losses somehow, and Tulane's 11-2. That's going to be a tough call.
Yeah, so in that scenario, the American takes the 4th spot. Then the 5th spot, is that just non-Power 5 or non-Power 4?
Just non-Power 5.
Yeah, so then that gets another team, and I think that's gross. I don't know how that would
It's
actually
the
work.
highest ranked
non-Power
non-Power
5.
5.
But it's only a Power 4. There's only 4.
Group of 5, not Power 5. Group of 5, Alex.
So there would be 2 group of 5 teams that would get auto
They made the playoffs
bids.
assuming that the Power 5 conferences would always have
There's only
the
4
4 spots.
There's only 4 conferences.
Power 4 conferences would always have the 4 spots.
Was their assumption?
Was their assumption that we would never have to
So
worry
then
about
in
it.
this scenario,
And then the
Tulane
first year
gets
you have
in.
the 12-year playoff that the Big 12 is so booty cheeks that they just beat up on each other. And you have a team that was projected to finish last.
Not answering my question.
First. Yes, I am. I'm answering
No.
it in a...
Tulane gets in. They're number 4.
Yeah,
Hey,
the bye.
I will lie.
Yes. And
Tulane
then
gets a bye.
let's say...
I get by Ohio
Can
State or
someone
Oregon.
listen to my question, please?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Tulane is the 4. Boise State loses or whatever. Let's say they lose.
No!
Is the Big 12 now the auto next team?
No.
5th team?
No.
Who is that? An unranked random team?
The highest ranked group of 5 teams.
What if there isn't one?
There is. There always is.
Well, what if the highest
Army.
group is
It'd be Army. Army's ranked 25th.
They're not
They're
currently,
independent.
Grant. We don't have them
No,
full
they're
until
conference.
Tuesday.
Sorry.
They're in the American Conference.
Well, in the AP,
So
has them
the American
25.
can't have 2. American would get 2 autos.
I think so.
That's so stupid. That's a terrible rule.
Correct. It's a bad
Big
format.
12 should get the auto for the... If a non-Power 4 gets an auto, then the 5th auto should go to the Power 5 team that didn't make it. Or the Power 4
I actually
team
don't
that
know
didn't
if we're right. We could be totally wrong about
I
this
feel like
entire
you guys
thing.
are lying.
Look up the rules right now, Alex.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
looking.
Call Kirk
I'm
Herbstreit
looking.
and ask him.
Grant, you talk. I look.
Okay. I kind of exhausted my points.
Well, I figured you had some questions.
I guess a chaos scenario would be if Texas A&M wins the SEC, that would mess up a lot of shit.
Oh, my God.
Based on all the teams that lost, do you guys still think now? I think Texas and Penn State are both still safe if they lose another game because of all the teams that lost behind them.
I don't know if Penn State would be safe.
What?
Penn State loses to Maryland? No way in hell they're safe.
No Big
They're
Ten,
not
but
safe
they still
if
just
they lose.
back in. I don't know, dude. There's so many teams that have lost a bunch of games. So Alabama has a chance to beat Auburn. I don't think that's a good enough win to boost them back to where they need to be to get in the playoffs. So I think they're dead. And I know Ole Miss is because they play
I saw
Oh,
Mississippi
a thing
State.
where it says like we should not compare wins this year. I think everyone is just need to compare worst losses. Who's got the worst
Interesting.
losses?
All right. I
And
figured it out.
eliminate those teams.
All right, Alex,
Alex.
It's
Commissioner
the
Alex.
5. The 5 auto bids are the 5 highest ranked conference champions. Conference champions.
Yeah, so there's 5 conference champions.
So if the American had Tulane at the 4, the another American team is not a conference champion. They would
So
not be. It would be a
The
Big 12
would
team.
be would be like the 12
Big
seed
12
or whatever.
is making it. Yes.
Okay.
The 5 highest ranked conference champions are making it. So the Big 12 is going to be it.
So
they'll
they
have a
could
ranked team.
hypothetically never. They could miss it, but they're not going to because it's hard to not be the top
It'd be
5.
very difficult for
Like
them to
the
not.
Sun Belt, Coastal Carolina would have to be doing their Coastal Carolina thing, or Liberty or something.
Let me look at these.
Okay, so the Big 12 is in.
rankings. Should
Maybe I
be.
should tell Connor that he wasn't technically wrong. He was kind of like they're not.
Because
Big 12's
Army,
not
you said
guaranteed
Army
to
and
make it.
Tulane are in the same conference.
Yes,
Yeah, they play each other in
in the title
championship.
game.
And UNLV is in the
No,
same
wait,
conference
Alex.
as Boise
No,
State.
wait, we're missing one. We're idiots. Boise State is in a different conference. So yeah,
Boise
Big
State's
12
in
would be
Mountain
out.
West.
in my theory, they lost.
No. So yeah,
They
Big
did
This
12
is
could
lose.
miss.
saying,
Big
Boise
12
this
State's
is
could
not-
still
miss.
saying that Tulane would have to be ranked higher. So yeah, Tulane and Boise State would be in if they were both ranked higher than the Big 12 champion.
And Big 12 would be out.
That doesn't seem likely.
It does though with
It's
Tulane. I'm telling
very
you.
well likely this year.
No,
We
because
just cracked the case. I forgot they were Mountain
no,
West. I'm an
because
idiot.
the teams this week in the Big 12 that are going to make
Yeah.
it are both going to probably be winners because that's how they got in.
Okay, let's
And
say
that means one of them has to win.
one team loses and there's a 5-3. Colorado makes the championship, Alex,
At 9-3.
and they win the Big 12. Are they ranked higher?
Yes, I think they would be. 10
I
and
don't
3,
know, dude.
Colorado would be ranked higher.
But Tulane's going to beat top 25 Army in the conference title game if they win that. I'm saying if. So they get another big win.
Is that that's who they play?
Yes, they play Army in the title game.
Well, they're going to lose to Memphis on Thursday.
That's also would be a nice win for them.
Just hope that that doesn't happen because that would be bad for football.
I like
Bad for-
Tulane. I'm down with the Green Wave.
You want Tulane and Boise State to be in this playoff?
Yeah, if that's the point of
Boise State has
expanding,
an
and
Heisman Trophy winner. What's wrong with that?
you want Sam Levitt,
No,
I guess.
not really. I mean, sure. I would like to watch Kenny Dillingham cry on the sideline when they lose.
Here's what
Yes.
people need to watch for. People need to see how far up the committee bumps Arizona State on Tuesday night. How much do they inflate the BYU in? Because they need a cushion to not fall below Tulane if Tulane keeps winning. That's what you need to look for.
If all the teams win out,
Yes,
as
Big
is,
12's in. Yeah.
Big 12's in. Easy.
Yes, because 2 of their teams only have 2 losses still. But if like Colorado or K-State or someone wins that conference that has 3 losses, they may be out.
Stupid.
So that's your playoff. It's a mess. It's a zoo.
Why don't they
Um,
just do 6 conference champions?
I'm less confident about my SEC being better than everyone after this weekend. So I will.
Yeah, you should.
I'm on a slippery slope.
I told you it was stupid that you're just banging the drum about the SEC and then
Well,
boom,
SEC
they all suck.
7th team in the conference is better than everyone else's 7th team in the conference.
That's fine,
That's
but
true,
at the
especially
same
Florida.
time, the argument last week was the top of the Big Ten competing with the top of the SEC and Grant.
Still can't.
I don't know.
I
Still
think
can't.
DJ Lagway Florida beats Penn State if I'm comparing.
DJ
cross-conference.
Lagway Florida is the top 20 team.
The top 4 teams in the SEC beat the top 4 teams in the Big Ten.
No,
Yeah. Well, Indiana doesn't beat
I
any
think
SEC
it
team.
would go 2-2. I don't think Penn State beats any.
Would
SEC
Missouri beat Indiana?
Missouri's the 4th team.
No, I'm just throwing out a bottom dweller.
No, Indiana would beat Missouri.
South Carolina would beat Indiana. That I'm sure of.
Mm, they have dudes, and they all look the same.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
But,
still
like,
confident. about it.
Penn
Not
State
as
would-
confident.
beat A&M.
What?
Maybe. Maybe.
At Death
think so.
Happy Valley, they win. for
Maybe. They almost lost to Minnesota.
sure. You guys hate on Penn State, but they have talent.
They're trash.
They do.
They're not good.
The SEC is not that spectacular. Just because they all beat each other doesn't mean they're good.
They're real and they're
Doesn't mean they're bad.
spectacular.
I'm just saying we're not going to know until the
there you
playoff
go.
happens.
No, we won't. And I'm going to be dialed in. I'm going to have my. I'm going to buy
Texas
an
still
SEC
hasn't
shirt.
beat anybody.
Alex, we all know it'll be Texas, Georgia, Oregon, Ohio State. So we're all
Really?
good.
That's
We know
split. 2-2 Big Ten SEC.
I have Oregon and Ohio State in my finals. So
Like
unlikely.
Your guy right
because-
there.
Well, one of them will be the 5 and one of them will be the 1.
Yeah, so they'll play each other.
Now that
Semi.
Michigan won't be in the playoff, I'm full team SEC. I might buy an SEC t-shirt.
Well, one more question.
Get Brent Venables' hat. This is SEC equipment on it.
Ohio State obviously wins this week against Michigan, obviously.
Yep.
Oh,
Make
Spoiler.
the Big Ten championship game. Lose to Oregon again Is
Yeah.
Ohio
They're
State
in.
in trouble?
Yes.
No.
Ohio State's in.
Sorry, they're not in trouble. Yes, they're in.
Ohio State, Sharpie in. Oregon, Sharpie
Still
in.
like a 5
Texas,
seed, 6
Sharpie
seed.
in.
Evan, shish.
They're in.
Shish.
I'm just asking what spot they would fall to.
5 or
would
6.
First, they'd
They'd
go
still
up.
be easily 5 or 6.
Well, they can't be any higher. There won't be one of the top 4 seeds because one of the top 4 seeds are the
And then
conference
I
They
know
better
champions.
not be
that.
below. If they could fall below Notre Dame, I will throw up. If their 2 losses are Oregon.
Also, it
Let
should be
Notre
noted.
Dame be 5 because then they'll have to play Oregon.
What is Boise State ranked right now?
11th
10.
in the AP poll.
So yeah. Also, they 5th champion doesn't have to be 12th. If they're higher than 12th,
Correct.
they can
They're
be whatever.
just their seed.
Correct.
Yeah. They're whatever
So-
seed. Yep.
Someone
Thanks.
could draw a good 12 instead of a Boise State.
Yeah,
or
but
2
Boise
win.
State is playing like shit.
Yeah. No, I
it's-
agree.
They're not playing like shit.
They are playing like shit, Evan.
Grant, they're surviving and advancing. They don't have to do much.
They're if Genty is not running for 200, they physically can't move the ball throwing it.
I just want to see Boise State
Pretty
host a
easy to stop
playoff
Boise
game on that
State's
blue
offense.
turf.
That would be cool.
They're
I'm in for
not
that.
hosting a playoff game.
It'd be cool if Genty got
Alex,
by
all they
week.
got to
He
do
needs
is
a rest.
5, 6, 7. All they have to do is get to the 8 seed. That's all they have to do.
Yeah, they're not doing it
Why?
They might.
because they're not going to have another quality win.
They don't need
They're
another
for sure
quality win if
hosting a
everybody.
playoff. They're for sure getting the bye week.
Who are they hosting?
I don't know. It'd be in a neutral. It wouldn't be at home though, Evan, because they're gonna have a bye. They're gonna be the 4th seed in the
They're
playoff
not
and have a
being
bye.
the 4.
How are you thinking they're not? No
They
one
were
behind them is
four.
jumping them.
Last week they were 4.
They're the 4, Alex. I don't understand why you're getting confused about that. There's not enough conferences ahead of them. Winners. There's the Big 10, there's the SEC, and there's the ACC, which will be ahead of them. The Big 12 is not jumping Boise State if they win out, and the American is not jumping Boise State if they win out. They're the 4th seed. They get a bye. They play in the quarterfinals of the college football
So
playoff.
stupid.
Tell me Oregon State doesn't get to jump them? They're the Pac-12 champs.
You know what's kind of dumb though about this? Where it's going to suck for 2 years, but they're going to change this. This playoff is only in effect for 2 years, and they can change it all after that per the contract they signed. So it's probably going to last for 2 years, and then the SEC and Big Ten are going to get pissed off that their teams get left out and make their own thing. And
That'd be stupid.
college football will look completely different.
College football's already ruined.
No, I like it
Oh, here we
still.
go.
I've loved this season. This season's been awesome. I'm full.
I
College
think
football
conference realignment sucks. I think it's terrible. I think it sucks.
It does
I hate everything
kinda
about
suck
it.
when some teams play like the bottom half of the conference and the rest of it plays like the top half, and we can't tell who's actually,
Our TV deal is ass. Some of the
That's
games
true. Bias,
are ass. Rivalry's dead.
No.
It all sucks. It all sucks. Hate it.
Let's do NFL quickly. We'll do our power rankings. My only big dookie though for the NFL, I thought the Commanders really lost the day. I think you can't lose to the Cowboys.
dropped
at
out of my
home.
top
They
10.
lost the day bad. That
Yeah.
miracle of a touchdown for Terry Warren, all just for
They
a kicker.
wasted it. Yeah. Straight up John Carney. I remember as a kid watching that with my dad. Saints did like the lateral play, and then he comes out for like when the PATs were like really close, like on the 15-yard line, and he just shanked it right to lose the game. It's so good. Texans are big dookie too. Can't be losing to the Titans at home. Fairbairn, sure as fire, missed it for Alex's team. That's crazy.
Alex's team is just fun.
Did you see Will Lutz had 22 points for my team?
All they did was kick field goals for the Broncos.
Great.
50-yard
Shitty
field goals.
teams like
Field goals.
yours.
Here we go.
Who wants to start with their top 10 rankings?
I'll start.
All right. From 10 to 1.
From 10, talking about Will Lutz, the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
Bo Nix, Rookie of the Year. Number 9, Baltimore. Number 8,
Wow.
Chargers.
Nice. Love that.
Number 7, Pittsburgh. Number 6, Green Bay. 5, Minnesota. 4, Kansas City. 3, Philadelphia. 2, Buffalo Bills. Number 1, your Detroit Lions.
Beautiful. What was your top 5 again? I'm sorry.
Top 5. 1, Detroit. 2, Buffalo. 3, Philly. 4, Kansas City. And the team that will never die, the Minnesota Vikings at 5.
Vikings, so okay. Alex, me or you?
I'll go Rams 10.
Whoa, that's disgusting. They're losing
That's
right now on Sunday Night Football.
They're winning. 7-3.
I don't even have it.
Staff God.
I think they're just now getting healthy. They got a lot of their offense is cool.
Who could just found out what division he's in?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're definitely good now. So they get to be 10. 10 on talent and coaching. 9, Chargers. Jimmy.
Yes. Jimmy.
8, Stillers. Dookie lost this week, but they're still that.
We're going to lose to the Browns.
Green Bay 7.
Oh, low.
Minnesota 6.
But we beat Minnesota, Alex. We should be higher than them.
Minnesota beat Green Bay.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Told you.
Philly 5. Nick Sirianni, he's a loser. 4, Baltimore. 3, Kansas City. 2,
3
Buffalo.
losses.
Yeah, they have 4.
I don't care. Put them on a neutral field with anyone, and I think they'll win.
Oh, against the Lions.
2 Bills. 1,
Yeah, they would win.
Beat us. 1
kill
Lions.
us.
They don't have a good quarterback.
All right. Mine, unfortunately, is pretty similar to Alex's. I also try to get cheeky. I wish I had gone first. I put the Rams at 10 because I figured they'd win tonight. And I'm high on Rams fever. Rams house.
Let's go.
9, Chargers.
Yeah,
fam.
2 for 2. 2 for 2.
Jim Harbaugh.
Chargers
This guy
8.
wins everywhere he goes. Evan's the highest Jim Harbaugh fan. Love that. 8 for him.
I love his clips.
Do you actually?
I do. I giggle every single time I see him. I don't hate him anymore now he's at Michigan. I've always respected him as a coach. I found him a weirdo, and I hated the Michigan obsession with the fans. But now that he's the Chargers, I pissed myself laughing when he dropped his warm-up pass from Herbert last week, and he's yelling at himself. God damn it! Oh, I watched that thing probably 30 times.
That actually makes me happy that you're fully appreciating Jim Harbaugh now.
It's the second nicest thing I've ever said about Michigan.
That felt good. Wow.
8.
8 Vikings skull. That's more just vendetta.
You said something mean about them today.
I'm just tired of them pulling out these games because I just think they should lose. But maybe I'm just wrong. They did play us tough too. I guess I should respect them more. The Ravens 7, 4 losses, tough. 6 beat them head to head. The Stillers high. Love their defense.
Stillers are not a top 16 probably actually, but
top 6.
They keep winning. They've won 2 games without a touchdown.
Boswell's toe, baby. 5 Packers. Top 5 team in the NFL. Pack. 4 Alex's favorite coach, the Eagles. Eagles fly at 4. Even after tonight's loss. 3 the Chiefs. Mahomes. 2 the Bills. 1 the Lions.
The Bills.
I'm so excited for the December 15th game. It's going to feel like an absolute Super Bowl matchup inside of Ford Field. It's going to be great.
Before that.
No.
They play December 15th.
Like I said, it is the 15th because Thanksgiving's super late. But we have a Thanksgiving game, then Thursday game, and then Sunday against the Bills. Next 3 games for the Lions. Prime time, everybody watching.
Yes. Gotta get
healthy. Flex the Bills game?
That, though. No.
I don't know what the Sunday night
it's
game
like
is
4 o'clock, like CBS Prime. It's like America's Game of the Week.
It's on CBS.
Promo.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just guessing because it's the Bills.
Because the Bills are on the road. Away team gets to decide. Oh, that doesn't happen anymore, Alex.
Yeah, I don't really know how it works anymore, honestly.
Well,
it's on CBS.
It used to be the away team decides. That's why we were on Fox this week, because we were away.
It's Romo and Nance in Ford Field, 4:25 p.m. It's going to be just cinema.
I don't know, Jim.
Oh, Jim, Josh Allen, what I would do. He's so much better than I was.
They could flex that.
No, they're not flexing that, Alex. Packers Seahawks at night. I don't want it flexed. I want a 4 o'clock kick.
That. They could flex that.
I don't think they can. Like, CBS paid a lot of money for that game. They're not going to. You think CBS is going to give that game to NBC? Why would they do that?
Get to give it.
Yes, they do.
You can take it.
You cannot just take the 4 o'clock
take it.
Game of the week on CBS.
NFL chooses.
They're not. I'll pay you money just for free. I'll give you $20 if they flex that to 8 o'clock.
They're not going to flex it because Green Bay, Seattle's pretty good. They don't need to flex it. If that was Jets, Colts, well, then we're getting flexed.
Do you guys want to stick with Lions now as we move along? Should we just stay in the NFL mindset? Okay.
Yes.
Lions, Colts. It was not as close as I thought it was going to be. It was
not
out
close.
of the gate. Out of the gate,
For a quarter.
I thought, yeah. Like when he ran for 36 yards in the first drive, I was like, oh, yeah, this is exactly what I pictured. He's going to be a problem. And then
for God's sakes.
The biggest story was just one team was good in the red zone and one team was really bad in the red zone. And that was pretty much the ballgame.
One team didn't score in the second half.
The other team is straight ass.
They had Ogletree drop a complete open touchdown just through his fingers because he looked away from the ball. And it's like, oh, well, if you're going to do that against us, then you're not going to beat us. So I guess it's as simple as that.
We were barely even trying. We felt
I don't know
bad
about that.
Did you guys know that a team hasn't scored a touchdown on us or scored a point on us?
3 straight
Yeah, 3 games in a row.
I did not look up all the sweaty stats that come out every single
3
week
straight
from the Lions.
games of no points scored against in the second half.
Goff didn't throw for a touchdown.
Yeah, no Amon-Ra touchdown this week. Ends the streak.
J-Mo with another 5 for 64 game, long of 21, 7 targets. That's nice to see. That is nice to see.
He's a good player. Always
Tim Patrick, a lot of big third downs when I would look up. He made some catches in the middle of the field, I thought.
It was a really boring game. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it.
It was. Again, in the fourth quarter, I walked out to go watch a red zone because we had Lions upstairs, red zone downstairs. I was like, I don't need to watch the rest of this game. It's over, which is kind of crazy to think. And I think Marissa even said on the car, she goes, it's so crazy how much the franchise has flipped in just 2 years where you are just checking out a fourth quarter game. So it's so easy that you're winning, where our entire life we were sweating out every single game and usually on the losing side of all of them. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Embrace it.
All-time funny text from Cody McRae saying Alex Orji was playing quarterback for the Colts. But probably the most spot-on comparison you can ever have.
Anthony Richardson's way better than Alex Orji.
Yeah, except Anthony Richardson is boom or bust. Some of his the throw to Alex Pierce deep ball was just fantastic.
Yeah,
that's all he can do.
But he doesn't do it well enough. He doesn't do anything.
That's why he got drafted. Is because he just chucked the ball as far as possible. That's it. That's the only value that he brought.
That Colts also had 8,000 penalties. So they would complete a first down and look up, flag, coming back. That happened 4 times.
He's got a little AR-15's got a little Andrew Maxwell syndrome to him where he just doesn't have any touch. He just yeets it as hard as he can at people. Speaking
of that, you see Caleb Williams throw to DJ Moore to set up the field goal? That was a laser beam. Beam. It was an Andrew Maxwell 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
Oh, yeah, I did. It was over the middle. It was a crossing pattern?
Yeah, it was a crazy throw.
The one I sent in the chat was disgusting. He was hopping in the air and just floated it over a linebacker's head before a safety to his running back. It was nuts. They lost, so no one will remember any of that. Is this fair to say about Jahmyr Gibbs? He's the best running back in football. He's not Barry Sanders, right? He's not. We didn't grow up with Barry Sanders. I've watched all his highlights. Barry Sanders had jaw-dropping plays, but he's not the same tier. But it's not like he's not Barry Sanders. There's some serious the moves he had at the goal line where he bounced it out from nothing. He does some things that are out of this world when it comes to just getting to that. I don't know.
He's a special football player, to say the least.
Gibbs is a top blank running back in the NFL.
1.
That's a little absurd.
Well, I've said it for a while now, so just keep saying it.
So he's better than Saquon. He's better than Derrick Henry.
He's the best.
I don't know. He's so good.
If you put him in the Derrick Henry or Saquon role where it's just him, yeah, he's that good.
Yeah, but he's not. You can't.
You don't need to. It's good. It's good that we have 2 running backs that are both top 10 running backs in the whole league.
Derrick Henry's in a backfield with 2 running backs too.
His backfield mate is not a top 10 running back in the league.
Lamar Jackson is a top 10 running back in the league. That's all he's good for.
I thought you were talking about Justice Hill. It's that's disgusting.
He's stupid.
Yeah, Derrick Henry is not as good as Gibbs. Derrick Henry scores touchdowns from like the 2-yard line. I have him on my fantasy team. I watch him every week.
I saw Jahmyr Gibbs' first touchdown today was from the 1-yard line.
And I think both his
Gibbs
touchdowns
just
were
does
from like
so
inside the
much
3.
more.
I think you're losing this argument right now.
Does Derrick Henry catch passes, Evan?
He can.
Not many.
Can he as well as
They have a
Jahmyr
running
Gibbs?
back throwing him the ball. He can't.
I'm just saying, I think if you put Gibbs in a full usage role like those other two, he would have
the what if factor, Alex. We can't do the what if. You can't say he's the best running back.
Yes, I can.
What if?
Because he is
but
the
if
best.
he want, but if
I
he
can
want,
say it because he is the best. He's the best in space. He's the best at catching the ball. He runs downhill. He can run over people. He can do everything imaginable on a football field. He's the best.
He can kick a game-winning field goal from 56 yards.
I wouldn't doubt.
That's bold.
He's for sure top 4.
He can punt a ball inside the 5-yard line with an
He
average
can't
hang
be
time
below
of 7 to 8 seconds.
He can't be below 4. He can't be below 4.
He can't be below 2.
He could be below
1.
2. He could be below 1. He cannot be below 4. It's McCaffrey, it's Barkley, it's Henry.
The fact that, I didn't mention McCaffrey.
And then 5th is probably Josh Jacobs, the way he's playing football for the Packers right now.
McCaffrey and Gibbs are the same to me. I mean, they're the same football player.
Gibbs
is
has
faster.
an offensive player of the year.
One's faster than the line of scrimmage.
Gibbs is faster.
Junior Gibbs. Gibbs is insane.
And I don't know how you
he's
don't
just-
think Gibbs and McCaffrey are the same. They're the same.
McCaffrey's better.
How? In what way?
He's had a better career.
Because he's played in the league longer and had more good seasons.
Or good
More better.
seasons. That a boy.
More better seasons.
I don't know what the right term is.
Like,
we're stupid. We're
Either
Lions
way,
fans.
do you have a reason why McCaffrey's better than Gibbs? Because I don't think so.
He is better.
So no, you don't. You don't have one.
More
I mean,
production.
this season, Gibbs is better, obviously. Duh,
More
'cause
production.
health. But over the course of the last 5 years, Gibbs has only been in the league, what? This is his...
Third year. Second year.
Is it his third?
This
No,
is second
this is his
season.
second. This is his sophomore year. He's crazy.
Yeah.
He's so
he's
good.
better.
Well, Gibbs
He's
has never
better.
scored touchdown in 17 straight games.
Because he has barely even played past 17 games. He's played like 20.
You said this is his second years.
Yeah, he's played like 20-something games, Evan.
Well, he can score 17 touchdowns.
And he
in 20
scored
games.
almost in all of those games.
And he's not getting a full load. He doesn't get the full load.
And he has a
I
top 10
can't
running
do
back
the-
in the backfield with him.
You can't do the what if factor. He's in the offense.
That's not a what-if factor. He's
Yeah, but you
just
can't
as...
do. Well, if he was in another offense, he'd be even better.
Yeah,
What
if
if
there
he
was
wouldn't
no
be?
one...
What
if
if
he
he
gave
wouldn't
him a
be?
carry every play. He would be. Why would he not be? You can't use the argument
wear
that
and tear.
McCaffrey has better production because he's played 8 more seasons than Gibbs. That's your only argument. That's not even an argument.
Offensive player of the year. Is Gibbs going to win offensive player of the year?
He
This
can. No.
Maybe
he
one
won't
year.
Okay.
This year. He definitely could. Best
I
in the
need to do
league.
some math.
He's just as good as
We're
doing some-
McCaffrey. You know it.
We're
I
doing
mean,
some
you just don't
math.
You
want
do
to
a
admit
lot
it.
of things. I still don't think. I think I'm just asked. I don't think he's number one yet.
Do you think he's as good as McCaffrey? Yes or no?
I think McCaffrey's still better.
3,000.
But why?
I think McCaffrey's actually a better pass catcher, down the field pass catcher.
Sure. I won't.
But you see a lot of
disagree with
Gibbs catches as swing routes or hook routes.
He doesn't go
or
down the field
angle
much.
routes.
Yes.
Gibbs has not thrown a touchdown, and Chris McCaffrey has.
That's not relevant
Well,
to this argument.
945 plus
Swiss Army knife.
796 equals plus 316
Gosh,
plus.
he's played in 27. I count the playoffs. He's played in like 35 games.
He missed a couple of games last year with injury.
So he's not durable.
He's durable. How
Gibbs
many games have
needs-
the Lions played? 11? He has 11 touchdowns this year. In 11 games.
Gibbs needs
Has he scored in every game, or does
700
he? Doesn't mean he's scored in every single game, Alex. That's my point.
I didn't say he did, but he has 11 touchdowns in
Has
11
he?
games.
You saying that he could score a touchdown? I asked if he scored a touchdown in 17 straight games.
No, he has 11 touchdowns in 11 games.
Okay.
Gibbs needs 780 yards combined, rushing and receiving the rest of the year in the regular season to have just as many as McCaffrey did in his first 2 years in the NFL.
Duel.
which I don't know what that per game is. How many games do we have left?
6.
Divided by 6.
100.
Like 102
It's
again.
about 130 combined yards each game. But he could also have a game where he has like 225 total yards, and make one easier. So he could do it. He could be on pace to have as good of a first 2 years as him. But again, not a full load. So you got to always keep that in the back of your mind with him.
Yeah, well, Evans is not allowed to say that.
Player debate aside, I think the only notables from this game is just the injuries. From what I saw, the most serious looking one was Khalif Raymond. Looks like he could miss some serious time, but Decker came back in,
Looked fine.
was ready to go if needed. Carlton Davis, I think, was okay.
Dan basically said all 3 of them are going to play this week, except
That's
Brandon.
good. Play the Bears, obviously. I'm not sure what the line on that game is. I don't know. I'm sure it's released now, but it wasn't when I looked. Thanksgiving, 12:30 CBS. Nansen Romo again.
10.5.
10.5. Oh my God. 48.5 over under. I think it's going to be a win. I've said my piece about the Bears. I
do think we're going to win.
they're due for a letdown because they've played, I would say, above their potential the last 2 weeks. Like they should have beat the Packers. They had a real chance to win today. I
think
don't
their
think they
defense
can
is pretty solid.
Yeah, that's what Alex
It is.
thinks too. He thinks their defense is good.
They held Justin Jefferson to 1 catch going into overtime. He had 1 catch.
Well, that's
for
because
7
Sam
yards.
Darnold's an idiot.
Well, they
But-
let Addison cook. So maybe Jameson Williams has a nice game because I feel like he's our Jordan Addison type player. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We haven't won Thanksgiving under Dan Campbell. We've always talked about the turkey leg. We have to
Yep,
have
no
it this
Dan
year.
Campbell turkey leg moment still,
No.
which is crazy.
When was the last Thanksgiving game we won?
Did we win that game with David Blau?
No,
No,
dude.
we
Are
lost
you
that
serious?
God, no.
We were in that game. We scored on
The
the first
last
play.
Thanksgiving game we won was what? The Eagles versus the Eagles, and Calvin went off.
No,
That can't.
like, it's
no,
not
it couldn't
been
have been
that long.
that far. That was a
Not
long time
Calvin.
ago.
That was like,
Did you tell me Matt
That was
Patricia
12
won a
years ago.
Thanksgiving game?
yes, he did. I swear he did.
Well, he lost to J.J. Watt.
I remember that.
He got fired after Thanksgiving. 1 year.
2016, they beat Minnesota 16-13. They were good that year. It was Jim Caldwell. I guess that had to
That
Jim
can't be the
Caldwell,
last
right?
time.
That was the last time they won. 2016, they defeated Minnesota 16-13. That was
Fucking
Darius
7 years
Slay
ago, guys.
picked it off.
That can't be
Calvin
right.
wasn't in the league.
Lost to the Packers. Lost to the Bills. Lost to the Bears. That's disgusting. They had like a pick 6 or a pick to seal that. Lost to the Texans.
Sam Bradford pick.
Lost to the Bears. Lost to the Bears.
First year Bob Quinn.
Lost to the Vikings. Beat the Vikings. Oh my God, it really is 2016. That's so bad. I didn't realize that. We've been better the last few
Come
years. What the
on.
hell's going on?
We always lose close.
Well, I
We
guess
lost
the
to the
Bills won.
Bills.
We should have won that game. All right.
16.
We're going to win this game. We're not losing to the Bears.
We weren't
Last
even
year lost by
21 yet.
7. Bills we lost by 3. Bears we lost by 2. Texans we got smoked. Bears we lost by 4. Bears we lost
J.J.
by
Watt had a
7.
pick 6. Why the
Vikings
fuck
we
do we
lost
always
by
play the
7.
Bears?
The Bears. We're going to beat them. We're going to spank them. We're going to cover the spread.
Lost
Lions.
in overtime to the Texans in 2012? That's crazy. I don't remember that.
Lions 31,
Yeah,
Bears
wasn't that
14.
was that the he was down but he wasn't and we reviewed it and he got called back? That was on Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure.
Lost to the Texans 34-31 in OT on Thanksgiving in 2012, but I don't remember that game at all.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was when Jim
the-
Schwartz.
Jim Schwartz challenged it, but it was a touchdown, so you can't challenge it, and so then it turned into not reviewable.
Yep. Then they changed the rule the next year that can no longer happen because it was disgusting. He threw his challenge flag, which was the first year they reviewed every scoring play. So they said you can't do that. And instead of actually getting the call right because he was down and then got up and ran 70 yards for a touchdown, they're like, no, we're just going to let the touchdown stand because you pissed us off by throwing your challenge flag.
They didn't say that.
Yes.
Yes, they
That
said
was the
because you
rule.
threw your challenge flag, that's no longer reviewable. We're not looking at it. and they let it stand. You can look it up. It's insane.
We lost on that? I must have been so angry that
We didn't lose on
it out
that
of my brain.
play, but it was a big play
It's like
in
a
the game.
70-yard
Yes, it was
touchdown run.
It's insane. Still pisses me off. Yeah. So we're going to win 31-14 is my score.
I would love that.
It's an easy Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes. What do you guys
I
think?
thought we were way better on Thanksgiving. Looking at this, we were garbage.
29.
We're atrocious. Oh,
Oh,
on brand for everyone.
just before
Crazy numbers.
I give my prediction. Before the Minnesota win was the year before, we beat the Eagles 45-14. So Evan was almost right.
1 year off. Shame on me.
We won 3 in a
True.
row, 14, 15, 16. Haven't won since.
Glory years.
Where were you
Stafford.
moments?
What was your score, Evan?
29-15. DJ Moore, 2 touchdowns.
No.
Bean. TA's back.
I'll say we win 31-21.
That's a lot. Offense.
Late touchdown.
Don't cover. We don't cover. Damn it.
No cover. Win by 10.
Who's scoring a touchdown? Amon-Ra scoring. Take him anytime.
J-Mo
He'll
is
score
going to
on
have a
Thanksgiving.
50-yard touchdown.
Waymo scoring for sure, and Gibbs is scoring. We're all scoring.
I kind of hope it's like a Texans, not Texans, a Titans or Jaguars.
Just a murder
performance.
fest. I can see J-Mo
I
eating a
wanna-
turkey leg.
I want to embarrass them, dude. I want it to be ugly. I want Big
That's
Cat
what
to
I'm
be
saying.
really sad.
A Titans,
No offense to Big
I
Cat.
feel bad for Big
or-
Cat. Jags.
Jaguars game where everyone in America
I want a 40. Yeah,
is just
I want
watching
40. I want 40 on this team. I would love it. They talked so much shit this offseason about how back they were. I hate this team. I want to score 40.
If we do lose, we'll just chalk it up to we're bad on Thanksgiving.
I can't go through another.
I can't lose to Caleb Williams because then the Packers becomes must.
Reminder, last Thanksgiving was one of the worst sports weekends of our lives.
No,
Just so you know.
that's not true. Turned around
For
fast
Michigan
for me.
State fans.
Michigan State
Yeah.
fans.
We lost. The Lions lost. Then Michigan State lost to
They lost.
Arizona that night. And then Michigan State got murdered by Penn State at Ford Field on
You guys
Friday.
were there.
And then Michigan won on Saturday. So
They
it was
were
a
whooping that ass.
really, really bad afternoon.
Should we go? What should we go to? Michigan State or Michigan next?
Yeah, let's
What do you
just
guys
talk
wanna do?
about it for like 11 seconds max. Both teams won. Good for them. On to the next. Okay, good.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Bryce Underwood?
I do. I would like to talk about him a little bit. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Alex,
Cody
did you
wants
notice
me
how
to-
many Michigan fans there actually are in the world?
Yeah, they
after that
came out of the woodworks all of
Holy
a sudden.
shit. Clarence selling Walmart. We're all
No.
coming out now. Black
Walked
Friday
in-
came early.
I was in Walmart last week before the Bryce Underwood news, and there was nothing. It was quiet, empty, and then walked in right after that, and holy shit, everybody and their brother was there. They were all buying the rotisserie chickens and their Walmart gear, and they were going crazy.
They had to finish their coloring
I-
books first, Alex, before they could actually talk.
I want that. The NIL Bryce Underwood shirts are flying off the shelves. Alex, I have to open to you. I did listen. I did not clip it. I thought about it. It was pretty
But
bad.
I also
The
said
five-
2 weeks before that it's recruiting and that anything could happen. I said that.
Yeah, but the most recent, which was last week,
I don't give a Yes, I was wrong about Bryce Underwood. Congrats
really
to the
wrong.
Congrats to the bus that went to the high school and got him to go to Michigan. It was just money. Everybody knows this is just a money decision.
Can't
so
win
good for
state
it.
championship, though.
You
Nope.
think it's okay? I think money is a huge part.
It's
but
96% of it.
You don't think LSU matched? Do you think they just didn't pay? That's why I'm confused.
Oh, I think
What I
LSU
know-
falling apart and Brian Kelly
Nussmeier
might not
is
being
coming
there
back.
is the issue.
Yeah, I do think. Because when people are like, "Oh, they paid for him," it's like, well, let's not pretend LSU wouldn't pony up to at least get close to that number, whatever it is.
I
LSU
think
blew it,
LSU would.
and I'm disappointed in that program.
And also, I think the NIL, they're probably the boosters or donors had to figure out: do you want a quarterback or do you want to get rid of Brian Kelly? Who are you going to pay for?
That is also true. They're about the same price. So
I can't double dip because I can't have both.
yeah, I think Bryce Underwood going to LSU bought Brian Kelly 4 more years. or 3 more years. And I don't know if
3.
they wanted to do that. At the same time, credit to Michigan. And I said it at the time, credit to Michigan for opening up the checkbook and getting it done. Good for them. That's what you have to do in today's age. And they did. But yes, my take was wrong. I was incorrect. I still don't think Bryce Underwood wanted to go to Michigan, or he would have done it a long time ago. But money talks, and LSU being terrible and Brian Kelly being a fraud. And then here we are. Now he's going to Michigan.
I can't.
He's committed. He's not signed yet. He's committed.
Yeah, true.
A lot of shady shit happens from now until signing day.
I just can't, though, like Alex saying he didn't want to go. I don't think that is true.
He wants to go for the money. Yes.
I don't think so. I don't
Are you
think
kidding
that
me?
is like
this is like the highest NIL deal of all time, and you think money is in the factor here? It is a factor. It's like the biggest factor.
But I don't think it's like, hey, I don't want to go to school whatsoever, but I'm gonna do it because it's $1 million more than LSU is paying me.
Sure, it's not like Ohio University. It's a good program and it's a respectable program, and they're offering the most money.
Like, you think he makes the recruit video the way he did about like being a kid that grew up here that like loved Michigan, that if he doesn't really care to go there at all?
Yes, it's publicity.
Yeah, I do.
I'm not saying that he doesn't,
I mean,
but you're also doing it.
Why did he commit to LSU so early, and then why was he so shutting down Michigan the entire time?
Because Jim Harbaugh was the head coach. There's a good article, Zenitz from CBS, head recruiting guy. Well, I wouldn't expect you to because you poo-pooed the whole thing. And again, fan bases can hate on it all they want. I don't care. I think
your own insider said it wasn't happening, so I'm not the only one who said it. I was just transcripting their things.
Well, if it was on three,
last week.
Dookie of the week on 3, they are not the source for Michigan 24/7 Sports. The Sam Webb crew, they actually know what they're talking about. So if you are a Michigan fan, you should look for them if you're looking for anything legit, because the on 3 side of things blew it up. You shouldn't dive into the boards that deep anyways, because things change all the time. But I think it's pretty clear. Everyone knows Harbaugh wasn't the most gung-ho recruiting guy overall. You know, he came in, he got the Rashawn Gary class. It didn't work out great, and he was content, you know, having top 15, top 20 classes and not pushing to be top 5. And from what I read, Bryce Underwood was turned off by that staff because Harbaugh and Matt Weiss were like wanting to recruit other states or looking at other quarterbacks, and he took it as a slight that they wouldn't just go in their own backyard. And also, Belleville did not like Harbaugh. He's pissed off their coaches a lot throughout the years. It was a bad relation with the school. I think Sharon Moore being the head coach completely sealed this along with the money. The last week before it happened, they had Bryce Underwood at practice on Tuesday and Wednesday, and he shadowed Sharon throughout the entire day. So there's also a chance if Belleville doesn't lose when they did, this does not happen just because of the timing. Like, he signs on December 4th because he had the free time to be at Michigan, follow the coach around. And then he told Sharon it was Wednesday. He told him that he tended to flip on Thursday, and that's when it happened. So yes, the money was huge. They had to get that in place. Because what the article said is that when they recruited Bryce back when Harbaugh was there, they didn't even really talk about NIL. They just said, yeah, like if you come here, you'll get paid if you perform well.
Brand new thing.
Like, oh, yeah. But like LSU and other schools were like, yeah, we will pay you up front. Whereas Michigan was still doing the whole like you earn your money here bit. And then when Sharon came in and they got that going, they're like, hey, can we at least pitch you on the NIL, 6 months ago? And yeah, the Underwood family listened to it. And that's what started everything. It's like, oh, like we'll actually listen to Michigan now because they're showing their interest, blah, blah, blah. And yes, path to playing time, more clear at Michigan, obviously, than it would be if Nussmeier stays. So there was factors. That's why the notion that like he's going to Michigan against his will because it's just a fat bag.
No one said it's against his will.
It's what you made it sound like he doesn't want to go there. He's just doing it for the money.
If Michigan did not offer the most amount of money, is he going there?
No.
Do we know it's the most amount of money, though?
That's what's being reported.
That it's like ever, but we don't know what LSU was offering. We don't know what
really knows.
Bama or other schools like said they'd give him. Like, we don't know how far it went.
Dave Portnoy made it pretty clear that you guys offered the most.
I mean, but Dave wasn't...
He's directly tied to it, isn't he not?
No, it was not Dave's money.
He had no money. He didn't donate any money.
He said he met the family. He talked to the Underwood family. He did not. This was not him. This was Larry Ellison, who I learned about was a this week. I didn't know who he was. Yeah, the Champions Circle NIL group that said thank you for supporting this was Jolene and Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison co-founded Oracle. He's worth like $230 billion. He went to Illinois and Chicago. He's not a Michigan guy, but his new wife likes Michigan apparently, and he decided to like throw one this way. So shout out to her for liking Michigan. Instead of getting her like a Christmas gift, a new purse, he bought the best quarterback in the country.
I don't understand why you're getting upset when it's very clear that this is a money decision. At least 50% of his decision is money related.
Yeah.
Why can't you just accept it?
Well, now that you went down to 50, I'm down with that.
70?
But to act like this, the one you said like he didn't want to go there.
He did it a month ago. He said he didn't want to go there a month ago.
I also don't think that's actually been said. I tried looking for that. I never saw him say I don't want to go to Michigan publicly anywhere, at least like in the last year.
I'm not going to go back through it.
I think there was
happy. Hopefully it's worth the investment.
I'm very happy. It's awesome. It's program changing. You can't
still got to get an offensive coordinator, still got to get coaches, and still have to be able to coach football.
If he doesn't like Harbaugh's staff, how does he like this staff? That's my biggest
question. I would ask the same question, but
well, Sharon's
because they're more willing to pay. It sounds like
what has this coaching staff proven
that they're willing to pay?
I don't know, but I'm going to guess from spending time with Sharon all day, he may have asked him point blank about the offensive coordinator situation. I'm going to guess that he told him that we're going to get someone new that's going to play to his strengths.
Get to pick it?
I don't think he'll get to pick it, but I think they'll be.
And why does Belleville have a freaking say in like if we like Michigan or not? Belleville's also a high school and athletic department that has 2 head coaches right now for their high school football program. And if you have the number 1 quarterback in the country, you should be able to win talent. And probably the reason you lost at DCC is because of coaching, not the offensive.
Belleville's always been a shady place.
Yeah, no, Evan, I'm not telling you that Belleville is the best run program. I'm just saying historically their coach did not like Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh pissed them off because he felt like he was not looking at their school for kids.
The track record for Michigan high school quarterbacks, talent-wise, is not the best. And the last best high
Bryce
school
Underwood
quarterback
is
to come out of Michigan
than these people.
Out of Michigan? I don't know. Hopefully it's him. I don't know. Drew Henson was a big one. He didn't amount to much in terms of like raw numbers. He played baseball, obviously.
Devin Gardner didn't amount to much. Dante Moore didn't amount to much. The last good one to come out of the state of Michigan was probably Kirk Cousins.
No, Cooper Rush. I already said that. Cooper Rush, 2012. Went to Lansing Catholic. The only reason
he's relevant because for some reason the Dallas Cowboys fell in love with him to be their backup.
He won a game today.
I mean, I don't know. It's just I understand. I shouldn't have expected less. I don't think
Harbaugh's wrong with the talent pool out of the state of Michigan quarterbacks. I would also look elsewhere.
Yeah, from what I read, that's a big reason he did not want to even deal with Michigan in the beginning because he felt like he was overlooked by them. And I think Sharon Moore becoming the coach.
Then that by that standard, it is true. At one point, he did not want to go to Michigan. Yes, you just confirmed that. Yes.
But you said coaches. No, Alex, you can't spin this like
you did just confirm.
It doesn't matter. But last week you were saying he has no interest in them, which was crazy for you just to say so confidently.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I was.
You were like you were like
I had no information. I just said
right. That's why it was crazy. You're just like he has no interest. Why do we keep bringing him up every week? Like, do we even know Michigan's in his top 2 if he didn't go to LSU? It was like crazy.
Because we didn't really know anything. I think it's fair. Recruiting's dumb.
But
recruiting definitely flips in a second all the time.
We definitely knew they were talking to him.
Do you remember the Amani Bates recruitment? Stuff up. Yeah. No one knew what he was doing. He was not going to go to Michigan State, it sounded like. Then he goes on SportsCenter, commits to Michigan State. And then it's like, holy shit. And then the whole thing fell apart, and then he was a disaster. Not saying that this is what that's going to be, but that's just my point of how recruiting is. You never know. It's just all over the place. These are kids. And now there's money involved, so now it's going to get even worse.
Yeah, and he still has to sign the dotted line, but I mean, any I understand opposing fan bases will make their jokes and everything and blah, blah, blah. But like,
you did buy him. Like, everyone buys everyone now. That's how it works. Like, I don't understand why you're disappointed by us saying that.
Yeah, but you still have to have a kid interested enough in your school, because there's going to be, for a kid like him, there are going to be other schools that would pay that amount of money. It's not like there has to be some level of interest as well on top of the money.
Sure, for sometimes, yes, not every kid. There are kids that are from poor families that will just take the most amount and go anywhere. How do you think Louisville had a top 15 class 2 years ago?
Touche. Yeah, and there's a lot of unknowns, but
sketchy.
Yeah, the Missouri coach, he's super sketchy.
At the very least, in terms of the program, it changes the trajectory of not just only that, but also Sharon Moore's career in the next, X amount of years.
Keeps him around.
So, it was cool how
Northwestern.
It was cool how the news broke. I will say, just Schefter coming on TV.
Schefter saying the same thing for 4 minutes straight that Bryce Underwood was committing to Michigan. It just rewording it differently.
Schefter is a huge Michigan slappy. It's very annoying, but
you guys seem mad about it. You do seem mad.
No, Schefter, if you just look at his tweets, he goes out of his way to tweet about Michigan athletes as much as he can. Bryce Underwood's big news, so I don't mind that he did that. But in general, Schefter is just a big Michigan slappy, which he went there, so I get it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
It was wild.
I'm not mad about
anything.
anything.
On the TV. Not at all.
No, why would I be mad?
He hasn't played a snap yet. How can I get mad?
What do I have to be mad about? Michigan's always recruited very well in my life compared to us. It's never.
This is different though. This is like
you have the number 9 class. Harbaugh's first class was like top 5 or second, whenever that crazy one they had.
Class number, I don't really give a shit about. I'm just saying this type of
rankings. I don't really give a shit about, because a lot of it doesn't even amount in much.
True. It does. Like, you have to. Is the kid good? I haven't watched all of his highlights, but I think he's the real deal.
Are they gonna?
Don't mean shit.
I'm not gonna get mad until ever, because this is normal. Recruiting and NIL and all of this is normal. Like, what would I have to be mad? We weren't even in the conversation for Bryce Underwood. It's not like we lost out on him to you. It didn't matter. I didn't think Michigan would just go on for the rest of eternity and having bad quarterbacks. I'm not dumb.
It's just to finish 3rd and 4th in Big Ten still.
Well, I don't know.
Well, they can't do that, because that would be bad if they finish that.
Well, their talent on the roster is not stacking up with Oregon, Ohio State.
Well, they got a whole offseason though.
It's a transfer
help fill it.
But I just think he's get richer.
Still have to build an offense around him. You still have to build an offensive line around him. You still have to do a lot of things to make it work. But having that piece is the most important part.
So, Grant, is Michigan accepting a bowl invitation or not?
Oh, yeah. Hopefully he early enrolls and gets practices in to get a head start on next year.
Yeah, but what would be the purpose of getting practices in if you're going to get a new offensive coordinator?
Just to get him in college practices against college talent. I mean, I would want my quarterback. I want him to.
Doesn't hurt
if he's signing on December.
Also,
I want him there.
So do you fire Kurt Campbell before that?
Yeah, if they want to.
You fire him on Sunday. A week from today, he's not the offensive coordinator.
That's when most firings would occur.
It wouldn't surprise me if he told Bryce Underwood.
Ron Moore had the balls enough to do that.
I think so. He got the balls
Kurt
enough
Campbell
to
comes back. Are you worried?
Less worried if you have Bryce Underwood, but yeah, not like happy. I already said, regardless of the talent, I would like him gone.
Are you ready for the Bryce Underwood jaw-dropping talent plays and then the 2 picks plays following it? Because that's probably an 18-year-old roller coaster that
I also think I've heard his family from talking to Sharon and reporters saying like Michigan is still going to get a veteran transfer quarterback that could potentially start over him at the start of the season.
That's a lie.
That's a lie. Multiple actually people that knew about the recruitment said like that was discussed, that the situation was so bad this year they're not just putting all their eggs in his basket. Now again, he might win the job because of the money on it and they'll let him go, which I'm fine with. We already talked about it. The Michigan National Champions chat is, we're aligned. Next year doesn't have to be like, it's got to be better. But it's 26 and 27 that are the years that I would like to win another national championship, at the very least semifinal appearance with him at the helm. That's the goal.
Yeah, to be determined on your coaching staff.
Anything less than that, and that's the expectations when you sign a kid like this, would be disappointing.
If Jimmy was the coach and you got this kid, I would be a lot more worried. For now, I'm not that worried. I think he'll be good. Like, I do think he'll be good.
I think he's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I'm excited because JJ was a top 6 QB 4-star, but like I've never seen anything like this.
But you actually had somebody that can develop a quarterback. Who's your quarterback's coach?
I don't know right now.
He's gone. Or
Brian Greasy. Come on down. Let's work with Bryce Underwood, baby. OC, work with the QB. It'd be awesome. I hope he does. That's my pipe dream, is that Brian Greasy is coaching the offense and mentoring Bryce Underwood to winning the Heisman and hopefully actually winning games in Big Tens and stuff like that. So that's where we're at.
I think it'll be very exciting. 2 quarterbacks in the state of Michigan that have all sorts of talent. Pretty cool. When's the last time we had that?
That's a good question, actually. All sorts of talent.
Chad Henne, Brian Hoyer.
JJ played a little bit. No, he didn't really play against Thorne in that game, but
Thorne is
he played the next year against Thorne.
Talent. I'm talking NFL talent. Been a long
Chad
time.
Henne.
Jeff Smoker and who else?
Jeff Smoker barely played in the NFL, Alex. That's like saying
he had NFL talent. I didn't say he was an NFL player.
Do you think if I was having this thought, Michigan's like sudden change in NIL? Also, I feel good not being a hypocrite because I never like shit on the teams that paid a lot of money for teams. I saw like it is tough for some Michigan fans.
You ever nervous that Bryce Underwood is going to take the bag and leave after 1 year?
He certainly
not right now. No, I can't. Like, there's a million things that could go wrong. But you like when you sign a kid like this, you cannot let yourself start thinking bad things. It's nothing but blind hope. At least that's how I look at it. Like, this is awesome. This is so much. This is so much better than not getting that player to come to your team. Like, it's not even close. My point that I was going to say was that I really do think them winning the national championship is like 90% the reason that we're at this point, because I truly think like their NIL was kind of dormant. And if you look at where Michigan was, like we were terrible during the Hoke and Rich Rod years. And then you get Jim Harbaugh and you get a better taste of success. And then you're like, all right, this is at least better than what we were, but we're still not winning Big Tens. And then he hits that Big Ten peak, wins 3 in a row. But the NIL still wasn't great. And I truly think the big donors that experienced last year and how fun it was to go to the Rose Bowl and go to the title game were like, all right, we're not going to be dog shit anymore because now we saw what it's like to actually be at the top of football. And I couldn't help but think like if they don't reach that mountaintop, the money does not come in and the like support for this does not come in. Because I think they're truly like the rich people that you need and are like fed up with losing as much as they did after a title. Which I'm surprised about, honestly, because I thought Michigan would be like, oh, we're good with our one title. We'll go back to like 8-4.
So you trust his coaching staff to put talent around him?
Yes.
They're going to have a lot of talent of it. Yes.
They're recruiting. Sharon's a recruiter. We just need to find the right minds.
Scheme, preparation, everything else.
Pan out to their overall.
No. Yes. But
Michigan does not lack talent.
The more swings at the plate, the better chance that you get someone that sticks. And yes, you do need the development. Yeah, we need a different offensive thing. I know Sharon, though, can coach an offensive line. He's done that, so I feel good about the transfers. Yeah.
I mean, if you gave our developmental coaches Michigan's roster, I think we would be pretty good.
Do we have developmental coaches? Do we know that?
Well, they did it at Oregon State. They developed talent pretty well, so I think yes.
The weak Pac-12 doesn't mean anything.
Come on, we're in year 1. This guy's not falling.
Sharon's got to find his staff. Our boss struggled with it too. He had people that weren't developing great. Since they're on the staff, I would say one of the big things of this Michigan-Ohio State game, the game, not really for anything. Don't let Fox's preview hype you up all week about it. It's not going to be up to that billing. Noon on Fox, big noon kickoff, money on the rise. We'll hear 1,000 times. Ohio State is favored by 20.5. When I look today, 44.5 over under. So that's a projected final of 32-12 Ohio State. One of the things I'm looking for in this game is Wink Martindale. Speaking of coaches, because the defense has played better down the stretch. He's gotten more out of them with less talent because they're dropping like flies. The secondary's been a revolving door. If they play okay, like solid in this game, I would actually be open to retaining him for another year. If it looks Don Brownish, like he's just a step slow when it comes to Chip Kelly, more like the Texas game when they expose them, just the way they set up, I would think about that relationship as well. So that is, if as a Michigan fan, that's kind of what I'm looking at for this game.
How did you guys score 50 points with only 396 yards of offense?
I think they had some short fields and they scored like every time I didn't watch the game really, so I should not say. I don't know. I had it on the TV. I saw glimpses
Davis
of
Warren's stats were kind of poopy. He's all right.
Going bowling, though.
Pass.
Going bowling.
It's big.
Sick. So this is my thought. After watching Indiana 2, you guys can disagree. I'm sure we're all aligned on it being a blowout. The thing with Michigan, though, is even if their defense plays their best game, let's say they save their best game of the year for this, and they do kind of frustrate Ohio State, right?
I'd say still scores 28 points.
That, but also, like, let's say they even scored 24. I don't see a world in which Michigan's offense does enough against that defense to keep it remotely competitive. So that's where I'm at. Like, you would need a pick six. You would need a special teams, like, touchdown off a block. Like, you would need multiple weird plays, fluke plays to happen in this game to even keep it within 7 points in the fourth quarter. That's how lopsided I think the scales are in this game offensively for Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan can't score in this game.
Ohio State's defense is one of the best in the country.
It'll take a miracle for them to score.
But they have the Don! Big game Donnie.
Like, if they bring the same blitzes they did versus IU, and let's say even if we pick them up okay, I don't, like, no one's beating them deep like they did when we had JJ in that game in 2021.
Yeah, you can't. You have no downfield attack.
No.
Davis Warren was thrown for 5 yards of pass completion last week against Northwestern. So you're not going to dink and dunk them to death because you're not going to be able to consistently get first downs. Your defense might be okay, though. Might keep them around. But Ohio State's going to be pissed. Said this the last 3 years, but this time, no excuse. So no excuse. Ohio State, if they lose this game, they're a dead program. They should just be dead. Because there's no reason they don't win this game by 30 points.
I don't even think their fans would want to go to the playoffs if they lose this game.
No, I don't think so. I think they'll be dead.
They would want Ryan Day fired.
Program is dead.
This game.
It would be the funniest. It's the most improbable win I could see as a Michigan fan because of the fact that they've won the last three. Like, even the years when they were doing the winning streak, you thought maybe those bad Michigan teams could sneak one out. Like Devin Gardner almost beat them in overtime because you're like, oh, like they don't respect us at all. But now that we have their full attention and you've won 3 in a row, and you're aligned, like this is basically their COVID revenge that we ducked. And I just think Ryan Day, especially after running it up on Indiana, he's going to score 50 points if he can in this game.
It could get ugly.
It's going to be ugly. I'm expecting it. And they have every right to do it if they're that good. There would be no whining from me about leaving their starters in or running.
One question
that's what I would hope Harbaugh would do to them if he had the chance.
I pondered this last night. Kind of sucks if you're a Michigan fan, but Ohio State obviously is probably going to win this game. Probably going to win it big. Let's say they go on to win the Big Ten, win the national championship. Is it right back to Ohio State's better than Michigan again? Like that one blip of your national championship's already gone, like dead, and now Ohio State runs everything again? Like, is that how it would feel? Would that be fair? Like, I'm just thinking if I'm a Michigan fan, that'd be so disappointing. You finally win your title, and then the year after, Ohio State just runs everything and does it while you go 6-6. It'd be like,
not really. Like the blip in the joy of the title does not go away whatsoever.
No, that doesn't.
That's something outside of Ohio State that had nothing to do with them, honestly, because we just beat them routinely for 3 years in a row.
But the whole like Big Ten, where teams stand long term. Who's the big program? Like right now, you can still say it's you because you're the last team to win a national championship in the Big Ten.
I think that's loser talk if you say you're still Oregon and Ohio State are better programs than Michigan right now.
All right, but you at least get to say you have the last national championship.
Yeah, that would be cool. That's a fun thing to say.
And then that.
Yeah, I hope Ohio State doesn't win. Yeah, it'd be
and then the Michigan national championship talk will just like fade into abyss nationally, and it'll be all about Ohio State again.
But you have to understand, I've already told myself I almost put a future on Ohio State. I just felt dirty. When they started loading up and they got Caleb Downs, I was like, they are not around this year. I expected them to win the national title. I've thought about it. So if anything, I will laugh and call it a choke job if they do lose it. And that's the fun that I get this year.
For it, but I'm just thinking for other Michigan fans like that, like your comeback would be what? You wouldn't have one.
There is no comeback. You just say, congrats on the title. You guys
I know. Michigan's whole thing, Michigan fan, the Walmart section of the fan base, their whole thing is like, oh, well, we beat you last year. Oh, well, we were the national champions. That could all be gone in one quick season, and that's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, you just got to shut up and get back in the lab and hope in 2026 Bryce Underwood leads you to the title.
You get it. The rest of your fan base doesn't always get it.
No, but that's just like any segment of college football.
I just
what we'll do is we'll say we won the last pure national championship 15-0 undefeated. They lost to Oregon and we had the 14 playoff. That's what you'll say.
Oh, so you are prepared.
I will not do that, but that's what I would do if I was a Walmart. I would say we went undefeated. Sorry. We just spin it back on them.
That's fair. I mean, it's not.
There's no way Michigan. When this gets kickoff at Cody's house, do you think I'll even have like 1% of thinking Michigan will win?
Yes, you will right when it starts.
I don't think so, guys. I might bet Ohio State.
It's just like happened last year when we played Michigan at night at home.
Yeah, I saw that look in his eye.
I did not have that look, but Evan.
It really is like that. It's so gross, but it feels like that.
Get to the game like, wait a second. We might do it.
There's no way, dude. I don't see it at all.
Correct.
The only thing I can say, though, it probably is Kurt Campbell's last game calling plays. He better bring out every single stop. I mean, run flea flicker 5 times if you have to in this game. Like, there's nothing you should hold back. Can you guys give me any sort of Kool-Aid blueprint of how Michigan could win the game if they were going to?
Yes. An 8-possession football game.
Run. The Army drive. We need 3 of those.
You need like 3 80-yard, 9.5-minute touchdown drives. And that might get you to overtime. Might. There's no shot. You have no chance. I'm sorry. There's no blueprint. There's no way.
I am going to go with 41-6 Ohio State.
Steal possession. Oregon stole possession from them.
We stole
too harsh from them. Are you guys going harsher than what I said?
You need Will Howard to throw a pick to Jordan Turner like he did to us.
I don't think we score a touchdown. I think we kick 2 field goals. It's 41-6.
I don't.
52-9.
Oh, 9? I'll take that. 3 field goals?
Yes.
49-0. I don't think he scored a point.
Oh, that
I think it's gonna be bad. Like really bad. Like think about when Ohio State played Michigan State the Kenneth Walker year and they were just super pissed off and like this team sucks. That times 10,000 is what they're going to be on Saturday against you guys. I don't see a scenario where it goes well at all. Will Howard's chirping Indiana the week before. Oh God.
The only hope is that the Grant and Graham and the people up front can slow down the run game a little, but then still like we don't have Will Johnson. We're gonna have Jeremiah Smith going up against Zeke Berry. I don't understand.
Oh, he's
like
scoring.
even if you do that,
he's scoring
anytime.
Abuka's scoring.
Michigan fans, even the Walmart ones, if Michigan does somehow win this game, we have every right to just make fun of Ohio State, correct? Even though we suck ourselves.
Ohio State's dead if you win. Dead. Their program's dead. Like for real. Ryan Day would be fired. I guarantee you like Sunday morning. They'd have to.
No, they would not because they'd still be in the playoff hunt, dude.
They would fire him. This is the only game that matters to them. They fired coaches before for losing this game.
I know.
They will fire him if they lose. The only scenario I could see that this is my ideal scenario as a sicko.
Michigan
wants
wins.
Michigan to be upset. Michigan scores first, 7-0. The vibes get crazy high from Michigan fans, and then it's 49 unanswered. That would be
like Indiana, basically.
That would be a funny moment. Because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you got your hand in the cookie jar, and then they cut it off and stab you in the chest.
Yeah. It's going to be ugly. It's going to suck. And I also want to say this. I'm not yes, I am checked out on Michigan football. I'm not scheduling appointment television. I will be watching this game with you guys. It will hurt. You can say, yeah, I know we suck, but losing by that much to Ohio State, who I just absolutely hate. I see crowd shots of them and I just hate their fans so much. It will suck watching them be that happy.
And my God.
What?
I'm at
JMO suspended.
Fantasy.
Oh. Normally it's JMO news from Alex.
Saquon just scored a 70-yard touchdown. And now I'm losing. It's devastating.
I just want you guys to know that.
That's fine.
And the listeners to know. It will hurt me.
Rub it
Watching Ryan Day talk shit, watching Will Howard talk shit and mock us, that will hurt. I will not be happy. It will suck. Even though I'm checked out of the team. So that's the game. It lost its juice. It's not for anything this year. Will Michigan State beat Rutgers to go bowling? I love this game. This is a great storyline for our friend group. It's a great storyline for the gambling chat. Rutgers is the only thing standing in the way of you guys in a bowl game. Evan, you're a lot's on the line for you.
A lot is on the line for me.
Senior day at home.
Favored by a point and a half.
Graphic this week.
Oh yeah, he has to.
He's gonna.
Then I hope he has a miserable Saturday.
Wait, hear about this. If he sends that, would you be down for Michigan to beat Ohio State?
Sure, I don't give a
Okay.
I don't have a cat in the fire.
No, you do, though. You love Will Howard. You hate Michigan.
I do.
You are a closet Ohio State fan.
I love Will Howard. I just hate the bit. It's annoying because he never bets on Rutgers, so it doesn't matter. He doesn't
confirmed
proof that he bets on him every single week.
I feel like he would.
I
feel like he does.
And they covered.
I feel like he doesn't.
Maybe $5. I don't know. I don't know.
Lost in a very dumb way to Illinois.
Yeah, it was awesome. Covered the spread.
That's why you never ice a kicker.
I don't know. Any thoughts on Michigan State Rutgers? Must win.
It's going to be a gross, close game.
It's the varsity
probably.
Game. We'll finally get to play after the JV play at noon.
No noon games this year.
Never gets old.
No noon games.
No noon games. No noon games.
Did you watch any of the Purdue game?
I watched the whole thing.
How much of it? You guys are diehards. That game was
It was
disgusting.
Friday night. I wasn't doing anything. Yes, it was on. At one point in the third quarter, I was like, I wish this game wasn't playing. So I didn't.
Oh my God, what a grind that had to be. I finished Love is Blind that night. I did not see much of the Michigan State game.
First half, great. Second half, poopy.
I thought they did. I liked them.
I did not like them.
I thought they were fine.
No. Green and black do not go together.
I thought it was fine. What's your question? Are we going to win? Is that the question?
I don't know. I've run out of things for this team. Am I going to hit my bet? I have money on. I have $40.
Can Rutgers
$46 to win if they win.
Because our secondary is a bunch of people I've never heard of.
Well, Alex, it's the same offense that Minnesota ran 2 years ago. It's bubbles, outs, and slants. That's all it is.
We tackle pretty well. Disgusting. We stop the run pretty well. Our quarterback's better than their quarterback because that kid stinks. Yeah, we should.
Alex, we should have beat them last year. We were dog shit last year.
Yeah, we should win. We should win by 10 points.
Do you think we'll stay to watch this game? I would like to watch this with you guys. This would be a good watch, a funny, comical watch.
I have to hang out with my family Saturday night, but I probably can watch the game.
I'll probably still watch the game. I don't see why we would leave.
This would be good theater.
At least
big
half.
TV. Michigan State Rutgers. We gotta watch this game together. This is good stuff.
I mean, if it gets dark and we're losing and you do your bullshit the last time we watched the Rutgers game, for the people, the last time Grant and I watched a Michigan State Rutgers game was 2020 COVID year, and Michigan State fumbled 7 times. 7 times, and every time they fumbled, Grant screamed ball and would run up and down the hallway cheering for Rutgers.
Remember when I yelled, "Oh, it'd be crazy if he muffed this" a second before he muffed it?
Also, in that game, Jaden Reed scored on the first play of the game, and I told Grant Jaden Reed was good. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know who that guy was."
But then he fumbled 5 times.
Yeah, he fumbled 3 times in that game. It's tough.
I will be rooting for Michigan State. I have my season-long 6-win future that I want to cash, so I'll be bleeding green and white after watching Michigan get skull-fucked by 40.
If we're losing at half, I don't think I want to watch them lose with you guys. Like, it's just going to be so depressing.
We'll all be cheering on together. They're not losing because I will also bet them. No, I won't because I already have the future. But I'm all in on them this week. I'm going to go Michigan State 20, Rutgers 17.
Oh.
I like the under.
What'd you say, 24-17?
2017. 3-point win. Jonathan Kim walk off.
No, he sucks. 24-17, Michigan State.
Hell yeah. Easy cover.
25-18 final score. Michigan State.
Easy cover. Let's go, boys. 6 wins, bowl game.
The first points of the game will be a safety. Rutgers will get a safety for it'll be 2-0 Rutgers to start the game.
That puts your money on that.
Just get that out the way. Doesn't happen.
All right. That's 192. Big week. I love rivalry week coming up. It's going to be great. I'm sure.
Oh,
Feast
yeah.
week too.
Potentially has to play UConn.
Michigan State beats Colorado. They play UConn. The game everyone
5
wants.
tomorrow. 6 o'clock for Michigan versus Virginia Tech.
I'll actually get to watch that game.
I won't get to see you. I'll be at work. But.
And the Har Bowl. What a night of sports tomorrow. Better than the first 2 weekends of
also, just want to say there's nothing more I love more than turning on basketball and seeing these teams playing in like little like ballrooms. It's absolutely
that was
bananas.
Horrendous. Did you see what Wisconsin was playing in today?
Yeah, I was watching it before this. Dude, it's a legit ballroom. There's a chandelier hanging. You can see a chandelier
as
hanging.
a Power 5 athletic program, you agreed to go play in that shit show.
The alumni love that for vacation.
No, they
the
don't.
Alumni base yes, they do.
In West Virginia. West Virginia is the armpit of America.
They're at the Greenbrier.
Blow that whole state up. That state sucks.
Whoa.
Devin, the Maui gym's cool. It's also tiny.
Okay, Maui is awesome. People like to go to Hawaii.
The Bahamas.
Who has ever said,
the Battle for Atlantis is also on like a ballroom dance floor.
Okay, but that has more fans. Did you see how many fans were in there, Alex? It had a stage. There is a stage that you're playing at the middle school, a small gym.
It's crazy.
You're playing at Herrick Park in Patterson. Congrats.
The top 25 basketball programs in the country are playing in like tiny, tiny ass gyms with like 15 people there. It's crazy. It's awesome. I love it. I think it's great. As John Rothstein would, I'm sure he loves it too.
This gym looks sweet. It looks like
you looking at the Wisconsin one?
Like, yeah, Bedford High School or something.
That one is crazy. It's so small.
Where is this at? It's LSU, Pitt, Wisconsin, and like VMI.
UCF.
What? Oh, it's in Texas, I think. I just saw a Texas logo. What is this?
Charleston. I think it's in mountains.
I don't know, dude. But
I thought it was West Virginia.
I thought it was West Virginia as well.
Yeah, either way. Cheers.
Cheers.
So episode 192.